If that intro didn't get you pumped up, then I don't know what will. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chinese DPC Upper Division. It's been a long wait, but it is going to be worth it. We have the best teams from what could be considered the best region now fighting it out for their spot at the major and those all-important DPC points. And joining me to talk about it, we have got B-Cop and Black on this lovely panel. Gentlemen, how are we doing and are we excited?
I'm very excited. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Obviously, my favorite region where I'm just like, enveloped. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm still learning the verbiage over here on the panel, but I'm ready. I'm excited.
You're excited.
Yeah.
Black, I mean, it's been a huge shuffle for this region, a lot of changes going on. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, as always, I'm a big LGD fanboy, have been for a long time, so definitely
Team
looking
Light.
forward to their potential dominance. They're definitely the favorite again to take it all the way. But yeah, the shuffle made a couple of teams very interesting, so we have to see how it all plays out. But it's it's going to be a good ride, hopefully.
Now, you guys might be wondering, how come we're starting so late? But there was, in fact, a bit of an issue, wasn't there, with the players getting back to their region and being able to play properly. So we had to take a little bit of a longer break than perhaps we would have wanted to. But that does mean we are now ready to go, and we are now going to have a more condensed format for this second half. So whilst we are starting later, we are ending at the same time as the other regions. So we have just got basically 3 and a bit weeks of just non-stop Chinese upper division Dota. It's going to be very exciting, very condensed, a lot of games for the teams as well. So you're going to see everybody playing multiple games a week. It's going to be great, and we can't wait to bring you guys all the action. Ben, tell me about the shuffle overview and what the biggest changes of the season are.
Obviously it starts with Elephant. Everybody was excited for them in the beginning of last year, and now they're not here. And you've got guys like FY who aren't even in the Division 1 or the DPC at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's where the basic shuffle came from, because then RNG took their spot. They were supposed to be Division 2. And you've got Phoenix, they're now Ehome. It's like Prince when he changed his name. And they've, shuffled Molasses over to LBZS. They've got Zeal, who's this guy who, nobody's heard of. I even asked X-Nova, I was like, hey, do you have any information on this guy? He's like, yeah, he finished college.
Just finished college?
Thank you very much. I'll take that information. I'll use it right now.
Wait, he's a Chinese player, right?
He's
Zeal?
from Malaysia, yeah.
Yeah, no, then I know him.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I played against him in a couple of matchmaking games.
Yeah,
and
you beat him mid.
of course.
That's tradition.
Usually, when somebody's asking, we need a mid player, Black, you wanna... I'm busy on a panel, bro. I gotta make you look good. But yeah, I definitely played against him. He's a very good player, so I'm looking forward to how he can do as a new blood kind of guy.
Fresh, super fresh.
A lot of fresh faces actually in this upper division, and people might be surprised to hear that as well, because China, it did have a lot of success. Black, would you say that China was the most successful region of the last year?
Yeah. I think it's hard to dispute that fact. They were just dominant in a lot of tournaments, and not just the DPC itself, but also pretty much it was just LGD though, right? They entered so many tournaments and did it so well at them.
Yeah.
IG as well, right?
IG, especially during the first half. In the second half of it, they were not as impressive. But yeah, China is always very, very strong. They take the game very, very seriously, obviously, as do most regions, I hope. But when I was in China, they took it to the next level. It was very different from when I was in the West. Much more playtime, much more serious. You get penalties for showing up late. You have to pay money.
Really?
Yeah. And the more it happens, the more frequently it happens, the more money you have to pay. The first time you pay 100 yuan, second time you pay 200, and then it goes up and up and up.
What'd you get up to?
Actually, I'm always on time. It was Ice that I had to pay $500 at the end or something. That was crazy, dude. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
German punctuality coming in handy there. So were you surprised to see the amount of shuffling we saw in this region then? Because considering the teams did so well through the majors and stuff, but if it doesn't cut it at TI, obviously LGD, they came second, very, very strong, and they're staying together. But almost every other team is having some big switches, right, man?
Yeah, I think the shuffles were interesting because you had guys like Kaka who, again, not playing in the DPC. He felt like, to me at least, the strongest guy on IG at times. He really felt like the guy who was the playmaker for them. And I don't know how it works behind the scenes, but it felt like he was the shot caller, and he was the guy who helped IG get the ball rolling and get to where they were last year. And then you've got Ori, who's now on Aster. He, in the last year, broke the record for most games played under the Vici banner, and then all of a sudden, not on Vici anymore. He played like 1,400 games with that team, and now he's just on Aster. Like, that is a crazy change, and just one that I wasn't really expecting. And then you've got young bloods like Siamese Cat, who's playing for Aster. He's going to be in the 5 position. He is a guy with potential that I think in the right hands could definitely be like a Red Panda who kind of shines with a better team.
Yeah,
The shuffle was crazy.
But it all makes sense, right? Like Ori, when he played, it didn't really feel like he was himself anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like he just felt like a suppressed like power. Because we know how strong he can be, and he was probably feeling the same thing, which is now why he wants to try his luck in like another team, probably. But yeah, it's obviously all these changes happen because people do believe that they're gonna be for the better, right?
Change can be necessary. All right.
Yeah.
Talking about change, then, I think we should definitely start talking about the series we've got coming up first today. And that one is, of course, going to be Ehome versus Phoenix. And that one is going to be a very interesting series indeed, because it's basically old Phoenix versus new Phoenix. But what happened to Ehome? They got picked apart like vultures, didn't they, that team?
Yeah, Ehome kind of shuffled it up. They are not the same team anymore. I don't really know. Yeah, Vulture's just coming in and frying up.
Let's be honest here. They got
want
wrecked
this
by
guy?
the shuffle season, right?
Actually,
They got wrecked.
Yeah, X-Nova for the longest time didn't have a team.
Yeah.
And then just like 10 days before everything started, he was like, oh yeah, whew, I finally found one.
I've got a team.
Yeah, I'm good to go, guys.
That's got to be such a big relief. Like,
yeah.
because he was so close, and everybody was like, "Oh my, how does X Nova not have a team?"
Yeah,
Like, that's
especially
crazy.
if you don't find it in the first season, it's gonna be so hard to find one in the second. So I'm happy for him. It's,
But him and Chalice moved them together to RNG, right?
yeah,
And
is Somnus there too?
It's Somnus, it's
Yeah.
God King, and then
Because he said like I definitely want to go with Somnus, so he obviously puts a lot of credibility into him. And how can you blame him? Somnus is like a god tier player.
RNG's a very exciting team.
Yeah.
But, Ehome, basically what happened is they took Phoenix's roster, right? So Phoenix has now become Ehome.
Ehome.
And Phoenix is now just kind of a bunch of fresh faces who we haven't really seen much of before. I mean, a lot of them have played together, so they know each other, but we don't really know them, do we?
Yeah, I'm also a little bit scared. It's like how the last season turned out, like in the first part of it especially, where there was just like this quote-unquote like free win team. I really hope that they can show that they're not that, but it's going to be so hard against all these experienced teams and players when you're just like so fresh. You probably didn't really have a whole lot of time to prepare and gel together. It's going to be a very big challenge, and I think today is going to be very telling, like what we can expect from them.
yeah, for sure.
Are you sure, though? Because, day one, can we not give them a pass on day one? Or are you saying, like, this sets the pace?
I mean, if they do like super well, right, we're going to be like, oh yeah, they're actually a contender to maybe go a little bit further. But if they get completely wiped, then we're like, maybe it's not going to be as exciting, But yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, because this is realistically one of the 2 series which we're thinking they can probably stand a good chance in, right? These guys, LBZS and Phoenix, Ehome, LBZS. I think it's fair in saying for our expectations coming into this, those are kind of like the bottom 3, and we're waiting for these guys to prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely. It definitely feels like those could be the bottom 3. And it kind of reminds me of last year when we had LBZS play Vici, and then LBZS, all of a sudden, they had a 40K net worth lead. We're like, wow, this team's actually showing up. Then they lost that game, and we were just like, all right, well, I guess this is what we're expecting to see from now on. So I guess Ehome's kind of like a good first matchup. You're not thrown to the wolves immediately, and in China, there are the wolves of this region. Like, you don't want to play LGD week 1, and, well, Aster's put up to that task a little bit later today, and that's like, all right, well, can we beat the guys who are the favorites?
If you
That's a
do
rough
play
task.
them though, right? Like Ehome, and they completely like destroy you, dismantle you. It's not a good sign for you going further, because a lot of these teams, if they play one of those strongest teams in the first day, right, they're like, yeah, we weren't really expected to win, just like play our best. But if there's actually a match where you're considered like to be 50-50-ish, and you don't win it, you're gonna feel just that much worse, right? So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes for them, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk to me about Team Phoenix then, the other side of the coin. These guys, yeah, I mean, where have they come from? How are they going to do? And, because 4 of them we have seen around in the Chinese scene for a very long time. However, we haven't really seen them in like the forefront in the spotlight, right? They've been playing in these kind of starter teams, these smaller I'm not even sure they're academy teams. I think they're just like all these smaller Chinese leagues they've been playing around in for a while now, and now they've got a shot suddenly thrusted into the Division 1. And then, as you mentioned, this guy just coming out of college. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough road for them. And then we've got Ehome as well, of course, who are the previous Phoenix squad. Do you think they're going to do well this season in general, being the old Phoenix? You know, should we expect more from them than we saw in season 1 last year?
It's tough to say. You know, again, Zeal coming in from Molasses, where you know, you don't know what you're really going to get from him. And then they also went from Yi, who was their mid, who, you know, the guy who used to play for Keen Gaming. He was the guy who I thought really helped them excel into that Division 1 placement, and now he's not here. It's Shiro and 7E. So, you know, those guys have played together before. I think they definitely have like that chemistry. They have a chance to really bring something, but the question is, what are they going to bring and how much can they bring? Like, it's really tough. It's something that I really harped on last year. If you're in the mid lane, you're playing guys who are so good every single series, guys who are killers. And you're just, you know, oh, I have to go up against Ori. Yeah, you know, a guy who's done everything throughout his career. And, you know, you're going up against Somnus and you're going up against Nothing to Say. Like, every time you do that, like, it must be so much stress to go up against mids that just dominate the competition time and time again.
Stressful, but also the best experiences,
Yeah,
right?
for
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
in order to learn, let's just say when I just started out, I got destroyed like all the time, right? Like, I don't think it's really different for most players. Like, even when Sumer just started out his first LAN, he looked quite terrible. But then the next LAN suddenly he just won. And you're like, wow, like what is this kind of thing? Because just like all this experience that you gather is like so important. Because every time you do play, they teach you something new about the mid lane. You know, because every player has like their own qualities, their own mechanics they're really good at. You're like, wow, he does this really good. Maybe I can try to do this as well. And there's a lot to learn. So yeah. But you know me, I'm a big Shiro fanboy. Like, I wouldn't say he's like the best China carry ever or whatever, but he has a lot to learn. But I do think he has a lot of potential to be like the next guy, you know, that we thought like Paparazzi to be, and how good Arma is, and obviously Paparazzi's now a mid laner.
What potential have you seen in him so far then? Where have you seen him really play? What's his comfort zone?
Well, he's definitely one of those guys that just likes to farm away, right? As most carries do, but yeah, I do think he's an excellent hard carry. He's, I think his map awareness is not quite at Yatro's level, but it's getting there. Like, he's steadily getting better, and I was very happy to see him progress all the time.
Yeah, 20 years old, you know, but he hasn't been playing for very long though, right?
Yeah.
He's a little bit older than a lot of these other prodigies, but
They're so young.
he hasn't been here that long, and there he is as well.
Hi.
Yeah, we're talking about you, bud. His ears are burning.
He knows.
He does indeed. So who else should we be highlighting in this matchup? You know, what matchups are you excited about between these two teams?
Definitely 7E. I think he's so fun to watch.
Oh.
Yeah, there he is right now.
Hi.
He shows up on the screen.
We've got a lot of power here, guys. We can summon anyone we want. Gay
that?
Ben. Bring us Gay Ben.
FY. No, it didn't work.
I
I tried.
No chance this season, I think.
Well, but yeah, 7E definitely excites me. I think he's made some great plays, and I think he was a part of that team, that early iteration of Phoenix, and so you know, going back to the whole thing with Elephant when they had Sylar for a day and then they didn't have Sylar. Yeah, he's, you know, he's playing in his room. Like, that's the college young, you're playing Dota lifestyle right there. And he's got a lot of badges, so he's done a bunch of events. Right? That's more than I've got.
Well, might be participation trophies, who knows?
I used to get those.
Yeah, me too, dude.
And never a place on them.
Every time. Wait, you're not at least third place? Ah, but at least you participated.
Thanks for trying.
Wooden spoon.
But you know, when he was playing for that iteration of Phoenix, ROTK obviously didn't coach Elephant immediately, but he did go to coach those guys on Phoenix a little bit during the Perfect World League Season 1. He was like, I caught him on a 480p webcam. He was just like in the background, kind of like giving notes and like being the coach.
It's Mikasa, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's actually Mikasa coaching the team. Very accomplished coach in China. Interesting. I didn't know they had a coach like him.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. And Ehome still have QQQ, right?
Do they? I'm actually not entirely sure what QQQ is up to nowadays.
I'm fairly sure he's not listed as moving or.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If they do, of course, you know how much I respect QQQ. I
Definitely
think
be a good guy to have.
he
coach.
can get the best out of a lot of players.
Yeah.
He made me from average to god tier China carry number 1. Holy damn, how is he so good, carry?
And he plays line mid. I can't believe it.
Why I got 6 fingers, 6 of the finger, a single finger. It's because of me.
We're not gonna see it every single time, man. Every single time he's like, "Oh, you know, what'd be good here?
Line mid.
Lion mid, guys."
Yeah. Or anti-mage.
No, I think you've learned your lesson about anti-mage after seeing some. It has to be a very good anti-mage for that hero to work. But I mean, I guess we should talk about the meta a little bit. You know, it's been a long time.
Meta.
It's been a long ride. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean the game's getting stale because people are still figuring things out. Do you think we're going to see something new from the China region? Do you think these guys have been like scheming and, you know, with this long Christmas break, coming up with some fresh ideas?
It's going to be hard, honestly, because there wasn't really a tournament in China for quite a while now. So usually what happens then is that the matchmaking meta, or like they do have like their own like little in-house leagues, like that meta is just gonna transfer to tournaments. And right now there just seems to be like OD is definitely the newest king on the block. Like everybody loves to play OD, just incredibly versatile, incredibly strong. And I do think that like the strongest heroes are now pretty much found out and they're being drafted around, because OD was definitely one of them. He was a sleeper. Now he's here. And we'll see. I hope somebody found a really good counter to OD, because I'm getting tired of him. But
Yeah, definitely.
It'll come. It'll come.
Yeah.
Same with Razor as well, right? He's I think Razor, OD, Bat, kind of the top 3, I guess you'd say, in
Mars
terms
is
of
still
like
up in
cores.
there.
yeah. And at least Razor is not like, he doesn't just kill you and then your tower and then your mid tower and then you just lose like OD. But like Razor is annoying in its own way, right? But at least like if you shut him down early, he doesn't really have a game. He can't really come back into the game. But OD is just like, he can't lose lane. It's impossible. Why does he have 7 base armor or something?
I don't know, but if he doesn't lose lane, I should definitely use him to up my MMR.
Yeah, you should. It's literally the best MMR hero right now.
I got to be getting those plus 30s instead of those minus 30s, and going.
We'll figure it out. We'll get there, buddy. You know, some coaching from that.
Please,
you know.
guys, coach me.
First
I could
make you
definitely
strong,
use it.
then make you good.
Yeah.
That's the play, absolutely. All right,
Voice it
guys.
up.
We do now have a draft available for the first game, so let's waste no time getting into it. It is, of course, Ehome versus Phoenix in the first match of the DPC China Upper Division. Let's get into it. And we have ourselves a couple of picks straight off the bat. We've got ourselves a Death Prophet and a Mars coming out for Phoenix. Meanwhile, Ehome, they've grabbed themselves the Bane and the Morphling. Is it any surprise at all to see the Phoenix coming out for, Death Prophet coming out for Phoenix? Because that's something they used to play a lot, but obviously fresh team now.
Yeah, it's definitely a more surprising hero. You don't usually see it in the first phase. But I like it a lot against Bane in particular, because when you play against the hero, you really just want to have more ways to cancel the grip. Like, you don't just want to have him stand there and grip your carry for 6 seconds. So they do pick 2 answers to that straight away. And they're very strong team fighters too, and pretty versatile, because it could be a support DP, it could be mid DP, offlane DP, same with the Mars. So I like the opening quite a bit. And then they pick Morphling, because no matter what they do, Morph is going to be good against them in the lane. Like, whether it's Mars or DP, Morphling is going to be very happy there. Makes a lot of sense so far.
Yeah, especially the Mars too.
Surprisingly.
You want to be looking for, like you said, looking for the Bane. I think a good example of that is like how teams try to counter Miposhka. It's just like, you know how much presence he has on this Bane, and it's like, how can we get to him? Well, we're gonna try and maybe get a Nyx Assassin, something that can find him in the back lines. And I like the Mars Death Prophet, because you've got the silence you could throw his way, or if Mars is getting vision, and that's gonna be really important too, getting the vision game down so Mars can come in, blink, skewer, make sure Bane can't do anything. Because I think Bane's always such a massive component in these team fights, and taken out, you get a good advantage.
It's the thing though, like, even if you have all these ideas, you know, I like to think every time a team plays Team Spirit, they have like this whiteboard where they're like, all right, so this is how we counter the Bane, you know, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna wrap around the mover, and then like, and they lose to it, they just run up to it. Yeah.
Team, help me out. Whiteboards are bad ideas. So
Yeah, you write the whole thing out,
you need to
throw the
start
whiteboard
like
out the window.
switching it up from like whiteboards to those giant notepads. Those might hold better ideas.
BKB, PA blinks, and I'm gripped, guys, I'm gripped. But we have 5 silences and stuns. But I'm gripped. Help me.
Yeah, all plans go out the window when your BKB carries gripped for 8 seconds straight. Like, it's just like,
Like, a
doesn't
grip is
matter
just-
what plans you had.
It's a ridiculous ability, right? Like,
Yeah. It's frustrating.
yeah.
You feel so confident.
Dude,
and then all of a
Thompson
sudden
praised
you're
me
done.
so much the other day. I played Bane, and I got like a super fast axe, and like, whoa, that guy's grips, they're carrying every fight. I'm literally just pressing one button, you know.
Wait, mid or something?
No.
You were supporting?
Pause 4, yeah.
Was this off stream or on stream?
No, on stream.
On stream.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna have
and
to watch
Top
it
was like,
live.
wow, black, man, you're playing so good. I literally didn't do anything. I just bought X, grip, walked away with my real hero, and the illusions just keep gripping. Like, okay, why is this a thing?
I had a similar thing happen. I played Bane, and a guy whose name was Thompson in game was complimenting me on how bad I was playing. He was on the other team.
I'm sure that's nothing new, though.
Well, you know.
Wouldn't be a DPC China without a bit of flexing from Black and a bit of self-depreciation
Of course.
from B-Cop. It's what we know and love over here. We have got some crazy picks coming out from Ehome, though. They are going off the wall, and I love it.
I do like, as I said before, like more ways to cancel the grip with the Elder Titan makes a lot of sense. And then Visage to counter the Elder Titan. Very strong hero. We have seen it, especially Tundra, run quite a bit to a lot of success. Usually they rush Orchid into Aghanim's, and it's just like such a menace on the map. And of course, we got the good old Shaker Morph combo as well. Very scary combination, always has been, still is. But also the lane, Shaker Visage can't be underestimated. Like the damage output, usually Shaker you see more as a defensive support, but with a Visage, there's a lot of kill potential.
Shiro is eating, and we know how dangerous that can be. T1 became one of the strongest teams in SEA just purely off the fact that Whitemon was just eating through every single
What is
draft.
eating? Looks something like
Looks like
something
Kit
similar.
Kats. It's like
Yeah, it does look like a Kit Kat, yeah.
He needs a sponsor. You just like whatever you're eating. just show
unbranded
up on the screen.
chocolate wafer.
Yes.
True,
Yes,
yeah.
Layered chocolate
Saved it, guys.
wafer. Okay.
Nailed it.
But you know, if you guys want to send me some
Mirana?
Kit Kats, hit me up.
Well, I guess it's gonna be Mirana Mars lane then, and which puts the DP definitely into mid lane. 5 Titan, okay, looks pretty decent, but now they gotta ban some heroes that are really good against DP. Gotta get out the Quap, maybe the Lina, cause
There goes the quap.
yeah, like they do have a good draft on Ehome's side, but they do lack some AoE burst from that mid lane. So Quap Lina makes a lot of sense.
No.
Potentially even a Puck. Like they don't have the best heroes against Puck. Like they have a lot of stuns, but no like instant stuns, and the stuns are pretty hard to hit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind Puck.
For Phoenix, could you do like safe lane Death Prophet and throw something mid,
You could. It's just
or even safe lane Mars?
in this hard carry meta, it's always like such a risky thing to do. Unless you have something here like a Morph that can actually comfortably go both lanes. Like you don't want to sabotage your draft in a way where, oh no, we got safe lane DP, we're now on a 30-minute timer.
And of course, they've got the Morph Shaker, right, on Ehome. That old classic coming out for another role.
It is, yeah,
Always viable.
true and tested, so why wouldn't you go for it? And it pretty much secures your mid late game. Like it's just so powerful. And they ban out they ban out literally every carry here that's good against Morph, even the AA2. And they're like, alright, our Morphling is secure.
Yeah.
So whatever they throw in is safe. Well, you know, there is an anti-mage.
It would be like all 5 of those bans after they picked the Morphling.
All
Ehome.
protected.
It's all Morph, baby, yeah. We got him like a nice little blanket, give him a hot cocoa, you know, make sure he's okay.
But that's really what I like about the drafting from Ehome, because if you pick that Morphling first phase, you do have all these bans to protect it, right? It makes a lot of sense.
I feel like that Visage might go off lane.
Yeah, I think it's offlane with Shaker.
Not a support Visage. Because
Yeah.
Faith Beyond used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Even when he was on Ehome, he would play that off-lane Visage, just have so much damage level 3. It's disgusting.
The soul assumption just...
And they used
No
to
one's
do it
ready
with
for it as
Grimstroke.
well. It's like everyone forgets how much damage it does, and you rock up to lane level 3, just get like 2-shot bang, you're like, oh, I remember now, thank you for reminding
Even
me.
level 1 is
Thank you,
180.
bro.
Get it out of their game too.
Level 1 is 180. You
Yeah,
get fissured,
it's
you get
nuts.
nuked. If you get blocked, you get nuked once. Like, okay, I'm half health. Give me healing, self-support.
Where's my team? Can somebody TP top?
Consumables in the Korea. Bing, 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 bing.
Can you buy me another healing salve? This is the 5th one. I'm like, come on.
I can't lane anymore.
Chugging salves like Black Chugs protein shakes.
Oh, yeah. I had one in the morning.
Sure you did. And big
Razor.
Alright, there he is. There he is. I talked about him before. Would have been very embarrassing if we went through the entire draft without being touched, but
Pretty late Razor
Ehome's
there.
got me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword against DP, though. Like, sure, the lane is very good for Razor, but in mid-game, this Exorcism can destroy you. I think they also pick it just in a way to secure Morphling a bit better as well, because a lot of heroes that are good against Morphling, they don't like playing against Razor. what's even left for them to pick now? Like,
Aren't Razor and DP like the same? I mean, both of them have like a little channel ability that you
Yeah,
use each
they're-
other.
they're
Both
the
have,
same.
like an AOE.
it used to be DP versus Razor, like back at TI2 every game.
Yeah.
First pick DP versus first pick Razor.
Press buttons, A-click into team fight.
Like, this passive damage around you is just so strong.
Yeah.
But what carry options do they really have? Luna.
Luna.
That is actually really bad against Razor and Morphling. Like, you really just picked yourself into a corner where when you're just Luna now, you have to snowball really hard to be able to get the momentum, get the fast Roshan, take all the outer towers, and then really just try to put them in their base, lock them in their base so they can't get big. But if this Razor gets up to BKB Refresher and Morphling gets 2 items, I really don't see what the Luna can do. Because it's not a good Luna game.
Yeah, it feels really bad for them.
Yeah, there was no. I mean, I get why there was not really a big carry pool left, but yeah, that doesn't look too good.
It doesn't bode well.
It doesn't look
Not
too
at all.
good. No.
Oh dear, so maybe the Dawn might be setting on the first game here for Phoenix. I mean, what needs to go well for them, Black, just before we start the game? What needs to go well for them to make this draft work?
I think the DP definitely needs to do well in the mid lane because he's going to be the one rotating with early exorcisms to get the pressure off Luna, who needs to hit a pretty decent mid game timing. Because if he doesn't get this like BKB timing in the mid game where they get all the outer towers, I don't see how they can survive the later portions of it. Because they have this Morphling Shaker, they got the Razor who hard counters Luna. Once you have the Refresher, double links you, what do? You have no one that can help you. You got the Fiend's Grip also against low range carries. The worst nightmare. They definitely felt the pressure on that draft.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe some teething difficulties for this new Phoenix squad. We'll see how they do with game number 1 with our lovely cast of this one. We have got our Cryptic and Neff.
Woo.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the DPC. Super excited to finally be here, and I couldn't be happier. I'm joined by my brother in arms, Neff. How you doing, buddy?
It's crazy being here in the studio with you. I'm very excited. We're kicking off the DPC. We just finished with the lower division.
Yep.
It feels like a completely different season with that small little break that we had there. But I'm excited for this one. Should be.
It's going to be so much fun, yeah. I mean, these are super sick teams. We've talked about like the swapping between both these rosters, but it's going to be an intense game number 1, and we are just going to jump right on into it. Based on the draft, I mean, I really liked what our panel was talking about. I do kind of agree with them. I think the Shaker Morph combo really strong. The Razor mid lane should pop off here, so I like what they're bringing to the table.
Yeah, it's just a matter of exactly what Black was talking about.
So we've got, let's take a look here. Looks like they're setting up here in the mid lane to try and get an idea of
30 seconds to battle.
maybe a little bit of vision control, right? As always, people like fighting around this first rune and stuff is pretty important.
Yeah. But it's going to be exactly what Black talked about. If they can make it through that early mid game on the side of Ehome, get that BKB refresher for the Razor. But you have a very snowbally lineup on the side of Phoenix. They are great at threatening towers. They can force fights and you to stay on objective with this Mars, with this Elder Titan. So I'm concerned about their ability to stall this one out. Earthshaker usually a very passive position for hero up until he gets his Blink Dagger, of course. Once he's got that, he can make a couple of plays. But as long as they don't topple over here in the laning phase, I think they're going to be fine on the side of Ehome.
Yeah. Ooh, I love these cinematic views, man. Dota's such a beautiful game.
Yeah.
It really is. The mid lane, Razor versus Mars. Probably not something what people expected, but one thing we have noticed, unlucky static link there, but one thing that we have noticed a lot with the Chinese Reason is they do flex the Mars a lot. I mean, it's not the first time we've seen the Mars mid. It's very common. But into the Razor, not that bad. Spear him away, try and break the link pretty quick, right?
Yeah. And worst case scenario, if you get a point of bulwark, you'll be able to stand your ground underneath the tower if he tries to run you down. He doesn't really melt as easily as a lot of other melee heroes do. And, he's not really a melee hero. He's got a little bit of right-click range on him. Get away from that static link. And we already saw that coming into effect just now when he broke the link instantly there. So,
love it, love it. Some couriers running around the top lane. Planet might be able to get his hands on one of them, but for right now, just kind of providing a little bit of vision. They do have this offlane Visage, which they touched on a lot. This hero does a incredible amount of damage, and it is being played by Zeal here, one of the obviously newer players to this, obviously the roster, but to the region in general. Like, we haven't heard a lot about him quite yet, but Soul Assumption spam obviously very dangerous.
Yeah, as long as they don't take too much damage. Thankfully, there's not a ton of kill threat here. If you get caught up by a Fissure block, then you could take a little bit of damage, but Earthshaker not providing a lot. He needs to gap the distance, then get right clicks off onto people. You don't do a ton until you've got a couple of levels. So I imagine the top lane going to be a little bit passive. It's bottom is where the action's going to be. If this, I think we're going to be watching a lot of YP, whether or not he's able to line up these arrows onto heroes.
Shout out to YP to using the new persona as well. It looks really. I'll be honest. Despite the hate, it does look really good.
The anime Mirana,
yeah,
I am a fan.
It looks so good. The new model is gorgeous.
Yeah. Very much needed a remake, though. A lot of people were joking about that one, how Mirana was kind of left behind, Marcy out of the game, Dragon Knight got his persona.
Nice Fissure top lane. Soul Something comes out. First Blood's going to make it happen for Earthshaker here. And they were right, man. They were right on the panel. They said this combo, you get that Fissure, just the constant Soul Assumption spam. It's so much damage.
All right, I was completely wrong, I guess. I thought for the top lane they'd be fairly safe, but this is just a surprising amount of damage. You were talking about that one during the draft as well. So top lane is where we saw going to get the action here. They end up getting themselves first blood, but does come kind of scary the other way around. Luna does deal decent right-click damage as the game goes on there. Exactly like you said, the spear back the moment he tries to static link him, so only missing 12 damage, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, Razor uses this mostly to deny, but with Zone so far, I mean, he's doing incredible in this lane, 18-1 to 16-2, so very even despite, not necessarily the easiest matchup for the Mars.
Yeah, unfortunately Mars doesn't have a ton of kill threat up until he hits level 6. That's when they're going to start moving around the map. The power of the Mars Arena, the Death Prophet Ultimate, even the Astral Spirit Palace Echo Slam, like they're going to be very good at positioning themselves around towers and taking them fairly early.
Yeah, I agree. I do love the teamfight potential here from Phoenix, though. I mean, they bring a lot to the table. This arena was going to offer a lot of utility, just locking these heroes down. You have Earth Spirit, Earth Spirit, oh my god, Elder Titan able to...
one of the E heroes.
Yeah, Elder Titan able to, basically reset 5's Morphling? Oh, he's just regenning under tower, it's fine. But, yeah, there's a lot of different tools, I would say, that Phoenix have for these team fights.
He does. The extra range there.
That's enough, dude. Dunk it.
Refreshing.
Unfortunately, Razor a little bit ahead of the Mars here inside the mid lane. That's to be expected. Razor can farm surprisingly fast out top lane.
Zeal's a little bit far out, and that is a big briefcase coming out. The Soul Assumption spam is there, though, with the Fissure. Can they finally bring down this Luna one more time? Planet gets in range. Does he get it with the... Ooh, the Enchant Totem, he's tracing him down. He's gonna slam him, though. He does trade 1-for-1. Visage going down first, though. Not the best trade, but I guess you take that. Slowing the Luna's game down even more.
Were those boots on Luna's courier just as she went down?
They might have been.
Yeah.
You talked about the bonus range on the Enchant Totem to get the courier and, gets the hero as well.
Yeah, it didn't quite have the movement speed in order to get away from that one. No, it wasn't the boots on that one, but yeah, just ended up getting run down there.
Ooh, Shiro, bottom lane. Yeah. He's got the Morph off, though. He should be fine. Nice Nightmare, though. We'll be able to toggle it back and forth. Bane, one of the most annoying heroes in Dota at the moment. Never feels too great.
Playing against it, his ability is to just stop you from playing with Nightmare, with Fiend's Grip. That and OD, I just absolutely hate playing against.
Hero concepts that are no fun to play against, but very strong at the moment. Nice bottle refill here to the mid lane. So 70 gonna get top back off here.
Yeah. Well, it's actually ahead in net worth right now, which is surprising.
I mean, he was doing really well in CS. Like we said, the first few waves, he didn't really get any stolen damage off. I think the very first static link was 1 or 2 damage, so that's never a good feeling.
No. And he's using his mana to Terraz zone out rather than secure himself with a bit of extra CS. Top lane, we might just see Visage drop.
Yeah, nice stomp here again, set up, but able to get a lot of bonus movement speed here. Question is, will he be able to make it out in time? Falling incredibly low, but a great Fissure from side. Planet going to keep his Visage alive.
Perfect timing there. But yeah, a lot of right-click damage. You don't have a ton of armor to work with, unfortunately, on Visage. She's only got 1 point in the Gravekeeper's Cloak right now as well, so again, not very tanky. Saved there by the Earthshaker, though.
Yeah, very nice. This is just a beefy boy matchup here. Elder Titan versus Earthshaker. This is a feels good matchup.
Yeah,
tower
with
is under attack.
2 points of the Astral Spirit, it becomes very easy to trade with multiple heroes, so now Planet has to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah.
The Lunar Blessing, of course, makes things even scarier for these right clicks.
It's so difficult to actually hit him with these enchant tomes because it's so telegraphed, right? And he has like Boots Windlace plus the movement speed from the
once he
Spirit,
brings it
so he
back.
just like he's
Walks
just playing with Planet here. But he's buying a lot of space for the Luna. I mean, despite the 2 deaths that she's had in the lane, she's pretty much neck and neck with the Morphling. But speaking of the Morph, bottom lane, nice rotation in from 7E. They're jumping on top of Shining here. Waveform on forward, trying to take him down. The double Spirit Siphon, is it enough? One more auto attack. 7E will find that kill.
Yep. Just in range for that ultimate to hit, and can he run down? No, I don't think Planet's going to want to commit on that. Not sitting at half HP to be able to turn that one around fairly easily on other Titan. So nice rotation there by the Razor, and need to do something down here. I don't think he's winning mid lane hard enough to justify a Razor pick. And again, a lot of this game is going to come down to how quickly he can get that BKB refresher orb. And right now, well, prior to that kill, he was a little bit behind where he wanted to be.
Man, Razor is just such a monster. Once he has like 3 items, that hero is no fun.
Yeah.
He just presses BKB, ult, static link, and runs at heroes. And there's very little counterplay in the game that exists.
Yeah.
No BKB piercing disable here from Phoenix, really. So
I wonder how they're going to address that one in the patch. I mean, I think part of the reason why it's so strong is they changed the BKB to 6 seconds, and you know the fact that he can have double ultimate just is way more damage than an Aghanim Scepter.
it made Refresher just really strong. I think that's what the thing is, right? Refresher became way more value. Zeal level 6 here on the Visage. Now with those familiars online, probably some lag here. Yeah, a little bit of lag here. Visage going to DC. That made sense. He's familiar micro did not seem to work. I was like, he's going to drop these, right? But no.
Yeah.
So I'll be jumping back into the game here in just a moment, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's already back in. Reconnected to the game, so. Those Visage Birds, they're a little bit underwhelming after the change around that they did ages ago. Used to be able to just burst people down incredibly quickly when their damage scaled with each auto attack.
Yeah. I hated the old Visage
I
Birds,
loved
honestly.
that.
I think they're way cooler now. Nightmare into the full duration static link. Great combo there. Does he have... Yep, there it is. Plasma Field. Nice Arena Zone. Able to get that block, so Defensive Arena is going to keep him alive.
Yeah. And unfortunately, with the wave pushed in, they won't be able to do too much damage to the tower. I mean, the only person who's going to do too much damage to the building is the Morphling eventually, and I guess the Visage when he's around.
Okay.
And speaking of building damage, they actually committed the Death Prophet ultimate. I'm not sure she'll be able to get much off one of this tier 1. Actually pings it out, wants to be able to push this one, but, you know, awkward timing.
She's actually done a decent chunk of damage, but like you said, yeah, the duration is over now, so Morphling should be able to sit back in the lane. Just has to be careful not to catch a rogue arrow. That's about the only thing that's going to kill him at this point. But 7E's rotating back down here again with a haste rune to boot. Shining will scout him with the ward, but it might not matter. The fissure is going to connect. Arrow dodged out there by 7E on this Razor, and Shining ran down here as Planet will find the kill. And another pause coming out here, so more lag for the Visage, it seems.
Yeah, unfortunate timing, well, for the side of Phoenix, and having that haste, very easily being able to run down the Death Prophet right after you committed the ultimate as well. So trying to put pressure on the enemies. And I think they'll be able to get some decent chip damage up in this top tier 1 with Visage up here. Unfortunately, he's just lagging and lagging. But
Yeah.
they could teleport someone up there and, I don't know, do a little bit more damage to that tier 1. They're going to want to start going for buildings pretty quickly. If they can put the pressure onto the side of Phoenix, you know, it stops them from being able to make moves. And now is one of the best opportunities that they've committed Death Prophet Ultimate and haven't been able to find anything with it. So they're doing good for map control so far.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, back into the game we go. M77 heading back top. I mean, Visage got the medallion completed, and with these familiars, you can't underestimate the amount of damage that this Visage can do, especially if he gets like a +1, right?
Yep.
So M77 gonna actually try and fight up against him, but drop familiar 1 and 2. Stomp comes through from LWW, will hold him in place. Arrow will connect, and here it is, the turnaround. But you gotta be careful. The familiar is gonna make it them back into the trees, and a great pick off there. Great bait here by the Luna.
Tried to get that bird up and running and block the arrow for him, but unfortunately just came out a little bit too quickly. So, like you said, nice bait, and I'm surprised they didn't bring anyone else up there on Ehome. I guess TP's on cooldown, the reaction would have been a little bit too slow, but no Titan.
Quick counter gank is a rotation from ZZQ and Planet's going to be the hit a nice fissure set up here with familiar drop number 1 and 2. Planet's going to grab the kill, but rotation in from Zone. Gonna catch that Arena, take down the Shaker. YP trying to make himself away. The Arena, again, a nice placement there from Zone, able to keep his team alive and actually secure an extra kill.
Well, he's been forced to use these arenas, you know, kind of defensively, but it is slowing down the Razor's game, so effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Next, he's got to work on this Blink Dagger on Mars so we can start throwing some aggressive arenas out. And this is the power of their lineup. You know, with the Death Prophet ultimate, with the Elder Titan, and with these arenas, they're great at forcing fights that Ehome might not want to take. So it's good that they protected all their towers so far, and they've got too much out of this first Death Prophet ultimate. But I think once this Blink Dagger is online on Mars, they'll be able to posture in front of the rest of his team, and they'll be able to take these crazy strong fights with all the damage that they have that Ehome aren't going to be ready for. Although Earthshaker's having an amazing game, so he's going to get his Blink Dagger probably at a pretty good rate.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I mean, he's up to 2,200 net worth, so top of the 4. And as far as that goes, like you said, the early Blink Dagger timing is going to be pretty big this game.
You like get a good Blink Echo Slam off. That's going to set up the Visage Bird. It's going to set up a Fisher, another Enchant Totem, and you just be able to do tons of damage.
I mean, they have a lot of burst on the side of Ehome, right? Especially once this Morphling like gets several items. Like if he goes for the E-Blade first, whether or not he's going Linken's, I don't really know quite yet, but Planet, yeah, only about 1,000 gold off the Blink Dagger here.
Yep. So it's possible they make some space for him, but he's going to make rotation here to the mid lane. Yeah. Nice spear. Yeah. Reading 70 going up on
there it is, Fiend's Grip right away. They know the spell's been used, and DP can actually TP into this. They have an Echo available. Shining might need to be careful here with this ult running from 70. Looks like they will just back off, respect the, I guess, the potential turnaround there from Phoenix.
Yeah. You always have to be worried about the Elder Titan coming in when you're diving a tower. He's able to turn things around so quickly with just Astral Spirit and Stomp. Either you like move back away from the hero you're trying to commit on, or you walk into it, you get slept, and then your entire team turns around and dies.
Yeah, that was just a really nice smoke rotation. Now you get a good ward placed behind the tower. I think it's still, yeah, it is still there. So they have vision behind the T1. YP bottom. Ooh, what a fissure block. Holds M77 in place. The question is, can he TP out? The Echo comes through Planet. Finds that big kill. And now looking for the Mirana. One leap charge still available, but this Razor does so much damage in ZZQ with a Nightmare. Brain Snap's going to be able to finish him off here, I'm sure. Now he's going to hand it over to 70. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. You don't see that in your pubs.
Yeah, I definitely yoinked that one with the Brain Snap.
Tumbler toy, very cool item.
It's a support tax. I need a Blink Dagger or an Aether Lens to help set up more kills. Don't mind if I do.
Yep. All right, looks like we... Zeal going to go back to jungling here, going for the Orchid as his next item. So that's the thing that's kind of interesting with Visage. I feel like there's a lot of potential item builds for this hero, right? Orchid has become a lot more popular, I think, of recent. And you can still go for like the Helm of the Dominator build. You have the kind of more tanky Aura build, the Solar Crest build. Like there's a lot of kind of potential with the Visage. It is struggling in terms of net worth so far, but I think it's still going to be able to offer quite a bit here.
Yeah, the Orchid's interesting to me. I mean, it'll help against Death Prophet if they can get the stun off on her first, because she is playing against a couple of heroes who like playing
Planet finds an Arena bottom lane, but guess what, Nev? He got the buyout on that Blink Dagger first. The question is, there's no way he gets out of this, right? Earth Splitter comes through. He's able to dodge it for the moment. He dunks the Courier. his last moment of life takes down the Courier.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it just put everybody down the bottom lane, so it tries to make a beeline for this on the Elder Titan, but unfortunately just too far away. They'll be able to do a good chunk of damage. Might even take down this tier 1.
They actually find the Luna back by the tier 2. Nightmare comes through. There's going to be the familiar drops, and Shiro, as well as Zeal, they've got a lot of damage, but they can't actually finish him off in time. The dust is there, but M77 still able to survive for the moment, but Shiro will finish him off, turning himself into the Luna, and now LW falls behind the base. Zeal with these soul assumptions doing so much damage. Shiro going to eat a spear there. Nice find by Zone, but the silence as well, able to hold him down. He can't get the morph off, and he will fall. Now chasing down for more. In comes 7E. Pops that ultimate Spirit Siphon. He'll be able to keep Shining alive for the moment, and a great Yule's Fissure, however, from Planet. He's rejoining the fight here, trying to take down Zone. Spear to the other side of the wall.
Yeah, and they're out. I mean, all of that set up from that ward that you placed earlier, and they do realize there's something over there now, so they ping that out. They realize they have to have vision, but huge aggression coming out from Ehome, and just jumping on that backline, getting the Luna at the start of that one, ended up making the fight incredibly easy. Look at that, just ran them down.
Yeah, really even trade for both teams. And it honestly felt like you lose both position ones and a support, but...
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that, though, not just run down Phoenix behind the tier 1 tower. They're supposed to be able to take these early game fights and, get favorable engagements if Ehome runs at them. I mean, Elder Titan is such a great tool for disengaging or setting up fights of your own, but to get the Luna at the very beginning, they get the Elder Titan immediately after that. It makes it too difficult for them to set anything up.
I think part of that set up from the kill attempt bottom, right? When they go for Planet, they commit the Arena and the Earth Splitter, so they don't have tools left to stop that dive. Like, the Arena is your big zone control in these fights, and the constant nuke damage coming in from the Morphling and that Visage was just too much for them to deal with.
And, if they know where Elder Titan is, then it becomes very safe to dive at that point.
Yeah, good
it's
call.
one of the big things discouraging it.
But Yule's picked up on Shining now, going for the Ghost Scepter next. I heard a little bit of Nightmare, putting his own to sleep, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, wake him back up. No
Very
time.
close game, though. I mean, it's 15 minutes in, 11-6, less than 1,000 on that gold lead here for Ehome. I mean, this is what we wanted to see, man. I'm excited that we have a super close game one, especially between two teams that there's history between them,
There is. Ehome with the majority of Phoenix's old roster, so that's a hell of a way to start this DPC season.
It's quite fun.
Yeah. But it looks even on paper, less than a 1K net worth advantage. But you heard what Black was talking about on the panel, right? The early game, if Phoenix doesn't win that one hard enough, you're going to get that refresher BKB on the Razor. The Morphling is eventually going to outscale the Luna. You have so many problems as this game goes on. And they didn't get the mid tower on the side of Radiant. Dire one went down first. They didn't win the lanes, I feel like, hard enough. So unless they make some very big moves in the next couple of minutes, this game is going to start going in the favor of Ehome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is going to be a little bit difficult. We're going to see a smoke up here, however, from Ehome. 7E trying to make his way into the jungle. Don't actually have any vision here to play with, but they're just going to try and rely on that smoke. See if they can find themselves a hero. Ooh. Perfectly dodged, however, by Phoenix. Well done as they make them way out of the jungle. Good heads-up maneuver there. They didn't see the smoke. They just knew something was up. They're not showing in the lanes. So, really good play there.
Yeah. They just smoked up before that on the side of Phoenix as well, so they tried to make a play, couldn't catch anyone, though. Mars working on the BKB. I mean, that one's going to be a pretty big timing for him. He wants to be able to just jump in the middle of the heroes, not get blown up, but I feel like we're getting past that point with the Razor. The Razor's just going to be able to run down the Mars with all his BKB piercing damage.
Ooh, Arena mid lane. He's trying to grab Zeal. He will find him, and with LWW coming in. Nightmare dodge on that Earth Splitter. Zeal trying to keep himself alive. Spirit Vessel is there, but they will be able to finish him off now. Zone on the run. Chased down here by the BKB of 7E. Goes down to another spear, and now chasing after YP here on the Mirana. She will fall as well. A 2-for-1 trade, favoring Ehome here in the mid lane.
Desperate to find something, but the only person they get is that this is position 3, and he's not even that farmed. I mean, they're fine with losing him. He's kind of outliving his usefulness at this point. And now, they're going to go into Roche here? I feel like that's crazy.
You can when the Visage gets back up, because I think once you have the Medallion, it's okay, but they're going to go for it. They don't have the Arena or the Earth Splitter. There's not a lot of spells for Phoenix to work with. They don't have the BKBs quite yet. It looks like...
Yeah, it is crazy.
I was like, they need the Medallion, right? The Fissure, though, finds a Death Prophet in 7E. Claims another.
All right, starting to get a little bit less crazy if they want to go for Roshan now. They lose the Death Prophet there. But again, they still have the Elder Titan. He's great at denying anybody any positioning on the map. He has to be a little bit careful, though.
They're going to go for it.
Yeah, you see he's pretty far away at the moment. But that's one of the strengths of this Bane. He's so easily able to just walk over by himself, get the Nightmare off on the Elder Titan, and then everyone can just jump on him.
Yeah, there it is. Like you were talking about, the stomps just making it so difficult to actually take this Roshan. Protected by Moonlight Shadow. Arrow, however, is going to be able to stop the Razor for the moment, but M77, he gets the BKB, but a Fiend's Grip right away. The silence not in time, and there's an Echo. Front side of the fight, able to stun up this Mars. Can 7E actually do this with BKB, able to keep himself alive for the moment, trying to run away from Shiny, but he's chasing him down with that Exorcism. LWW, he's going a little bit too far. Double kill there for the Razor, now chasing after the Death Prophet. And the damage from Zeal, it's going to start adding up. The Strength Stun comes through, plus the Orchid. There's going to be familiar drops, and they're going to get him. It's just going to be a matter of time. He falls down. Ooh. Yeah, okay, close. 70. Oh, barely survives. Zone does not get the kill. Arrow not going to connect, and they will back out. A pretty good trade once again for Ehome. They only lose the 2 supports. They get the Luna even after her first BKB reveal.
Yeah, all this BKB piercing damage, though, the Fiend's Grip coming out, and like you mentioned, not able to get that silence off. I think part of the problem is the fact that this Death Prophet silence comes out pretty slowly as well.
Yeah.
And after that workaround to it, used to be just that instant drop in the AoE. Now it's got to fly out, actually.
I mean, despite Visage being one of the most, like, underfarmed cores in this game, Zeal is doing the most damage, like, in these fights by a pretty good margin. And as we were talking about, the Soul Assumption spam is just so heavy, especially with that Medallion and that Orchid. That Soul Burn, really good at helping secure the kills as well.
Yeah, it's fighting tons of utility. I mean, Razor doing a ton of hero damage, though, obviously. Hero just,
They just smoke up again. They want to go for more. 70's got his ult back up. Eye of the Storm, I mean, doesn't really care about your BKBs, does not care about your other heroes. They get the vision up on the high ground there. Fissure is going to connect the jump forward, and there goes the Elder Titan once again. Another kill going the way of Ehome. Now 18-9. A 2K gold lead finally starting to pull themselves away. ZZQ, 10 seconds till that Fiend's Grip. Trying to set up a Nightmare here. Will find YP. Going to get woken up for the moment. The double leap away, and he's going to be all right.
Yeah, that unfortunately, the second half of that plasma field ended up connecting within the same time the Nightmare landed, so.
But it is space for Roshan. That was the whole idea here as Shiro and Zeal make their way in. And I'm imagining this is going to go the way of either 70 or Shiro, right?
I think 7, I don't know, looks like Shiro's going to be your building hitter.
Yeah. I mean, he's almost to his E-Blade, and this Aegis pretty much guarantees he's not going to go down until that E-Blade comes up, right?
Mm-hmm. So, what, he's, yeah, 1,600 gold away. So running out of options here on the side of Phoenix, just losing fight after fight, 18-9 at the moment. I mean, Luna's keeping up for farm. She's ahead of these other heroes. That's what she does. Moonglave's bouncing around, being able to farm out camps incredibly quickly. But when you're playing against the Razor, who's going to have the Refresher Orb, when you're playing against Fiend's Grip, it becomes too much for one hero to just carry the game by itself, I feel. So,
I mean, I know this is a while off, but if Bane gets a BKB, I don't know what this Luna does. I don't know how you participate in fights if Bane just has a BKB.
You don't.
It's going to be a whiles away, but it is something that we've seen. He's grabbed the Aether Lens first, so it's going to be a while before that happens. But
yeah, and still a little while away until this Razor's got his Refresher Orb. But at that point, the Mars can't control him up very well. He can kind of play near the walls, but when you're able to maneuver in and out of the arena so easily, when you have 12 seconds of magic immunity, at any point your Refresher Orb is off of cooldown.
Shining have a little fun there. Attack denying on a ward. So you have this Morph Shaker. I mean, that is like one of the classic. Well, we'll come back to this in just a moment as they've managed to find the Elder Titan here once again in the bottom lane. Dust going to come through. Shiro rotating on in, trying to just burst him down, and he does. This Morphling becoming a real issue here for the side of Phoenix Gaming. And quick courier as well. He's just scouting for a ward.
70 gold to everybody. That's rough. I mean, as soon as they pick off this Elder Titan, though, I feel a lot more confident about grouping up because, the Stomp sets up a multi-man arena from the Mars, and that's the only way you're really able to take team fights. 11 seconds till he's back up, so.
There it is. That's the Ethereal Blade, the shotgun build now online for Shiro with the Manta style as well. They're going to smoke up pretty much at the same time. Try to go for a wraparound here. Make sure that they get this tier 1 tower with ease. Maybe plant some vision in that triangle.
Titan buys the smoke. There's no way they take this fight, though. They shouldn't even bother trying to defend this tower. You can drop a stomp, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, nice waveform dodge there. Shiro gets it with ease and find M77, but Static Link gets broken right away. He's going to force the BKB, but a Fiend's Grip right away as well. He's all alone. No one is here to help him. And the Eye of the Storm, like we said, it doesn't care. That BKB does not matter there. And Zeal, he walks in maybe a little bit too far. There's going to be that ultimate from Shining. It just takes him down, no problem at all. Zone will be able to hobble himself out of that engagement, but Death Prophet, she's all alone on the foreground now as Yule's going to buy her a little bit of time, but
they got to get back on Ehome. They can't actually take this anymore, even with the Aegis.
Yeah, they don't have that Shaker control. And
Shaker was on the side there. It came down from the triangle. He blocked off the entirety of Phoenix while he took out the Luna, so, worth trade for him, but...
Did his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Exorcism is one of those abilities you just don't mess with, right? Mm-hmm. It is very scary, similar to the Eye of the Storm. I think... Was it Nomad saying they're basically the same hero? He's like, yeah, they both do the same thing, right?
They both got a link ability. Yeah. You don't fight into their ultimates.
Yeah. He's right. He's right. They're both pretty much fill a lot of the same lanes in game right now, too. Like, we see Death Prophet and Razor both played in mid lane and off lane.
They both got the linky ability. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Same hero.
True.
All right. So at this point, at half your refresher orb done right now on the Raiders, sitting on 500 gold in his bank. I think that they've kind of missed their opportunity to play too far up with this Aegis. With another minute left, they could kind of look at pushing the top tier 1 tower, but they do look at...
Fissure. Gonna be able to drop it, connects there for the moment. The dust will find him, and again, another pickoff. It's really just Planet, man. He is owning this game on this Earthshaker. He is just finding so many pickoffs with this long-range fissure. The blink coming out at such a good timing. He's got the shard completed as well now, so
yeah,
the chain stun is there.
Yeah, this is the cooldown of that one as well. I love the shard.
It is so good.
Aetherland's coming out on him next, so just wants to be able to blink in and throw those fissures out from slightly further away. Actually makes a huge difference with the blink dagger that Aetherland's.
Still only a 3k gold lead here for Ehome, but I mean, we've been talking about it the whole time. Phoenix, they feel like they're the ones on the timer, and with Ehome being ahead, it's going to be very scary. They've got 25 seconds left on this Aegis, committing for the tier 2 in the top lane. Phoenix going to smoke up, try and make their rotation over here. YP hiding in these trees, trying to find something. Get a nice ward there. Will scout at LLW. I mean, it'd be the dream if you could hit the stomp on all of those heroes, but Ehome knows something is up. The blink forward from Zoni pops the BKB, gets the spear, manages to find that Visage, but a great Nightmare dodge. Once again, the Earth Splitter is there, though. Can they finish him off? They can indeed. Zeal will go down, Aegis expiring. Ehome will just disengage. But Shining, he pops that Exorcism, he wants to go in. Zones manages to find the Bane as well on the backside, but look at your Death Prophet falling so low so fast. Will be able to keep herself alive thanks to that Ghost Scepter. They buy back on ZZQ. With that Fiend's Grip available, it is very scary. So now the other way. Phoenix Gaming the ones backing off the engagement.
Yeah, with all their abilities on cooldown, they can't really fight it. The moment that Exorcism ends, they all drop, so... They lost ZZQ, they're forced to buy back on Bane. That was like best case scenario there for Phoenix. Going on to that, when they know where all the heroes on Ehome are, it becomes much easier to take these engagements. So, standing their ground there, and to turn that around on them. But again, I'm not sure where they go from here. Now they have to play a little bit carefully for the next little bit, and Razor getting closer to his refresher orb.
Not too bad. 61% win rate. That's about where I would have put this game slightly. I mean, that fight right there definitely put Phoenix in a little bit better position than they were, but top lane Planet, ooh, that was a pretty aggressive blink here, and Zone's gonna punish him for it. There it is, an arrow to follow, and Earthshaker. You know, I just praised Planet. I don't want to say caster curse, but...
Instant caster curse.
A little bit of a delayed effect there, maybe.
Yeah.
We got the Aghanim Scepter picked up on Visage now, so that ability is quite cool. I love that one. Do you remember that used to give unobstructed flying vision?
Which one? Sorry?
The Visage Ags here picked up on Zeal. He's going to find LW bottom, and with that bonus damage and the Orchid, goodbye, Elder Titan. No chance.
I actually don't remember that one. I know the Night Stalker did, the Keeper of the Light.
When they first introduced it, it was in the game for about a week and a half, I think. It had unobstructed flying vision on top of having free pathing.
Very cool.
It was real broken. 8-0-7 on the Razor. I mean, he has just had such a great game this time. Top lane, Fiend's Grip onto the Mirana. You know, it's not used on the Luna, but you'll take it. It's been on off cooldown for quite a bit here. ZZQ just wants to put that on cooldown, find themselves another pickoff.
Yeah, Kill went to the way of the Bane, though, instead of the Razor, so he's not going to get to it quite as fast. And speaking of, Mars working on one as well.
Yeah.
They're going to drop these double arenas. And it does control up the Morphling pretty well. I mean, he can get in and out of the arenas with the waveforms, but okay, never mind. He's almost got his own BKB completed.
Let me just retract everything I just said. No big deal. No, I agree. I think the refresher is big for the Mars. Double BKB, double arena, obviously. Being able to zone up these supports, maybe isolate the Morphling from the fights, or even the Razor is pretty huge, but with those BKBs, it gets a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, if you can kill the rest of the team, if you can get the Visage, the Earthshaker, the Bane, then dealing with the Razor and the Morphling afterwards becomes a little bit easier. And I think that's going to be the goal of Mars.
I love Shining's items pick up. He's got the spider legs, so very good item there for the Death Prophet. But honestly, on top of it, she's got herself that Aeon Disc, and she was holding the Assemble on it, but does decide to just commit right there. And there it is, the BKB and Refresher at the exact same time here for Ehome. So this is the power spike that we've been talking about here for a while.
Yeah, and already just invading deep into the enemy's jungle. Going to go for this tier 2 tower, take control of the outpost, and I don't think there's much the Phoenix is going to be able to do about that just yet. Yeah. There goes your top tier 2. Outpost already taken, so control the map, now going to go with the way of Ehome. Phoenix, they smoke up. There's, I mean, if you know exactly
They
where all
don't know about the refresher BKB yet. They haven't shown.
the Scotty was just completed on the Luna, so that's going to help a ton with the Morphling.
I mean, they're smoked in. Razor is going to find Shining, though. Fissure does come through. The chain stuns are there, but Dust onto Planet, canceling his Blink Dagger for the moment. There's the Arena. The Spirit, they get the Earthshaker before the fight really starts. He does have that buyback if he wants to use it. Zone pops the BKB just in case. So they will find themselves a quick pick-off.
Yeah, I mean, again, the...
Oh, he pops the Refresher and a
they're
smoke.
gonna go for
They
this.
saw this. Zeal's here, Invis. He knew this was happening, but he gets the Arena anyway. He finds ZZQ on the Bane. E-Blade comes through, but there's going to be that BKB protecting him. LW on the backside being chased down by Zeal, and I think he's got the damage. No, nice heal there from that wand. Chain stuns onto M77, though. Arrow will connect for the moment, and what great team fights once again here from Phoenix. They get a pick off, they disengage.
Yeah, they realized they could get just a little bit more. They forced the buyback there, even on Planet. I thought they were like past their opportunity to really take any of these fights, but you know, when they do have vision of these heroes on the side of Ehome, they are able to set up. You know, these Arena is a massive tool. And now they have 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's even scary to deal with. I think they want to take something off of this. I mean, they know they just committed BKB, Arena, and Refresher Orb is on cooldown, but Roshan not respawned yet.
That's what they're waiting for, right? Is they're trying to get this Roshan, and it will respawn here in just a second. They have the gem picked up here on Visage, so very good at dewarding, obviously. But in the jungle here, they are going to find the Mirana for the moment. Zeal gets the deward. Ooh, that is rather unfortunate pause here. But we're going to go ahead and jump right back in. Who cares? Zeal is not where he wants to be. Earth Splitter. He actually will protect himself with the stone form, so he is buying himself a lot of time for them to wrap around on the backside. And M77, he's the one that's isolated. Instead, the Razor, the Morphling, they find the kill. Zeal, he's done his job. He baited them out. He's still alive, full health, now falling one by one. What a great fight.
All right, that was... Oh, okay. There, the Fiend Grip comes out, but immediately interrupted there.
Yeah, but Shining underestimating the amount of damage here from Ehome as they end up grabbing that kill. Yes, you'll lose Zeal in the end of the day, but a 3-for-1. And this is your Roshan. Going to go the way of Shiro here once again. It is Rosh number 2, though, so you will grab this shard as well.
I thought that was like the worst positioning in the world. I'm like, yeah, they're going to force staff him down. Oh, wait, no one's got a force staff right now. But he was just baiting them. Drops a stone for him, managed to survive long enough for them to take that team fight. And they knew the Arena, the Refresher, or both on cooldown on the Mars. So baited Phoenix into thinking that they had an opportunity that they didn't there.
So we refer to that as the 5-head play.
Yeah.
Shiro, I'm sure he's going to take the shard for himself. Yeah, eventually. Yep, there it is. Juggling some items in the pit. Pretty much standard stuff. But yeah, the shard, very good on the Morphling. He also now has, he's working towards the Aghanim Scepter, right? That's his next big item, the Shaker Morph combo. I mean, we've seen this thing for years. It is so fun to watch, and when you're this farmed on a Morphling, it's very scary if you're Phoenix here.
Yeah, I mean, they've nerfed it over the years. You can interrupt the jumps when it's in the air now, and it doesn't last as long.
Cast range, or is it the cooldown reduction or the cast range that got changed?
Cooldown reduction, and it doesn't last as long either, the Morph.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So M77, still really farmed on the Luna here, does have that Scotty, did pick up the Shard, and now obviously with Mindbreaker, it's quite annoying to play against the Shard because you can get the silence off of the Lucent Beams, right? Because it procs the attacks.
Yeah. So you get this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get the silence off, and it slows them as well. And you're playing against 3 range cores, so that 50% slow is going to be hitting, you know, all the enemy core heroes. So it feels really good.
Yeah, real value pickup for sure.
Yeah. Looks like the game is slow. I guess they're just playing super carefully right now at Phoenix. Again, if they don't have vision of the heroes on Ehome, then they're going to struggle to take the fight.
They want to hold this top side jungle, right? Because they've already got the top tier 2. Eventually, they want to get this mid tier 2 by just like cutting mid wave over and over and maybe start making their way into the enemy base. But they are waiting on the BKB here for Zeal. I mean, we saw last fight how long he survived with just the stone form. But once you have BKB as well, it's going to be that much more difficult to bring down this Visage. I mean, Hero is super tanky.
Yeah. All these points into Gravekeeper's Cloak. They're playing super tight at the moment, though. Again, they're worried about just getting separated from the rest of the team with these arenas coming up from Mars. Now they know that Refresher Orb is off cooldown.
I love this smoke. They're going to maybe get their eyes on the Death Prophet. She's in the triangle. They're pinging him out. In comes Shiro. He's going to find him. Fissure off the mark. Ends up blocking 7E for the moment. The Spider Legs able to get him to the low ground, but you can't outrun Shaker. or rather the Morphling, as he's just going to be able to find Shining here. And now looking for zone, he pops that BKB, trying to get himself away, but 7E just runs him down. The physical damage from these two heroes is just way too much. They also find that Elder Titan on the bottom side here, thanks to Zeal. So another 3 for 0 here as Ehome really feeling themselves here at that 35-minute mark.
Yep. Next, going to push in this mid lane, take the tier 2, and they can start to pressure high ground. I mean, 60 seconds until the Mars back up. He does have buyback available, but getting caught out on the Death Prophet there rather than like the Mirana or the Elder Titan really slows down your game. So things, I'm not sure how they defend this tower without the Mars.
I mean, you don't have, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have BKB or Refresher. Maybe he has Refresher.
He's got Refresher.
Yeah.
He didn't commit that before he died. He realized he was going down once he had committed himself a little bit too far forward. Yeah. Off cooldown still.
Man, up onto the high ground, Shiro just going to start laying into this tier 3 tower, and they will grab that with ease. 30 seconds still till that Mars. Going to focus on this melee barracks, and I think they get it here. It's so difficult for Phoenix Gaming to get into this. Shiro, nice dodge for the moment there on that stomp, and
yeah, they've got the time.
Just
The
gonna
Mars ended
disengage.
up buying out. Just, I didn't see what he just bought, but yeah, towards the end of his death, he's like, okay, I guess we're just going to sack this Rex. But yeah, we're in the late game phase now, and you still are able to take some of these team fights if you know where all the heroes on Ehome are, but they've been spamming out these smokes and just playing very tight. Realized a couple of opportunities that they ended up giving up to Ehome, or sorry, ended up giving up to Phoenix were just not worth it to maximize their farm potential.
yeah, looking really good so far. Phoenix, I mean, looks like they might go for a smoke play here, but it's so difficult to find Ehome right now. Like they're so deep on their own side of the map. Yep, they are going to go for it. They've got to find something, right? Like they've got their spells back off cooldown. They need to grab themselves a pick. Obviously, the Morphling would be huge. The Aegis expiring in about 45 seconds, but
They're not going to find anything. They're going to find the 4 heroes together on Ehome, but I think actually the only hero that's going to be able to get out of this are the heroes that just BKB TP.
Zeal's here, Shiro in Shaker form. The sentry is actually already planted, and they see this whole smoke. So Ehome might be baiting this out. Razor TP's out. Zeal's gonna find him with this ult, and there they get out. The arena doesn't connect. The spear will be able to find. I don't know how that worked, but the arena will hold him in place. He finds ZZQ on the backside. It's just M77 on the run from Shiro as well as 7E, but can he even make it away? He's jumping for more. Shiro with the fissure, gets him with the E-Blade. YP gonna fall as well. 2 heroes dead. Yes, you grab the Bane, but Zeal here just baiting out this Death Prophet as they've got so much chase, and there it is. The rest of the core is going to be able to surround him. A nice stomp from the Elder Titan, but it's too little, too late.
Does manage to get out in the end there, but that dodge at the arena at the start of that one reactions way too quick on the side of Ehome.
They know. I mean, they missed the timing. It's exactly what we were talking about, right? Like you've got this Shaker Morph going into the late game, the Razor matchup into the Luna. It just never really feels like you can take the game against Ehome as it goes on, right?
Yeah, it was way too difficult once they got a couple of items on the side of Ehome. They didn't end up winning that early game hard enough, right? We talked about that at the very beginning. They need to be able to get the mid tier 1 tower fairly early. They need to be able to capitalize on these early Death Prophet ultimates and arenas, and he did manage to keep himself alive a couple of times, but he didn't find enough kills with these early arenas, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have a lot of that early team fight potential, like we were talking about from the Phoenix Gaming lineup, but the lanes just didn't go their way. And what can you do against Shaker Morph late game? The Razor having the BKB with that refresher. I mean, they talked about on panel just how strong this is. And the last pick, Luna, I mean, it just didn't work out. I mean, maybe it's a comfort pick, but it is not a good carry matchup in the slightest for them. And it just goes the way of Ehome in game number 1. So we're going to go ahead and send it back to the panel, everyone. So hope they can break down what we just saw in game number 1 of Ehome versus Phoenix.
100 audio.
Thank you very much, our Cryptic and Neff. And when I say great cast for your first LAN appearance, very nice. And of course, a great performance from Ehome. Phoenix didn't quite have the puzzle pieces fitting together this time around. And yeah, I don't know, what do we talk about? Because pretty much what we mentioned on the panel is kind of how this one broke down. I mean, Was there anything there which caught you off guard, or was that all pretty much as we expected, Black?
Unfortunately, pretty much as we expected. The only thing that caught me off guard was the lanes, because I did think the only chance for them to win is a really big DP that can just cause chaos, win you the team fight through that passive damage around her. Then it ended up sending Mars middle, which, I mean, I guess it's okay, but the only way for you to really win the game, you kind of take that option away from yourself by doing so. And yeah, we saw it. Like, he had a pretty good game. He landed some good arena spears, but once that arena is down, what do you have? Like, they just run away from you or run at you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And your Luna, I don't know how many times you got gripped during the BKB. Probably every time. It just feels so bad. They picked so many heroes against that Bane to be quote-unquote good, but it just didn't matter.
As we said at the time, all your plans go out the window when your BKB carry is gripped for like 8 seconds in the middle of a team fight, and especially when it's Luna. Feels so bad just have that one hero locked down. And yeah, I like what you were saying about how, the decision to put the Mars against the Razor at mid, it seems like a nice idea, right? Because it's a good matchup for the Mars. He can just spear back the Razor, stop that link coming up. It's not a lane which the Razor is going to get a free win on. But they needed that DP. Their whole game plan was to get down this arena, get the Elder Titan, get the DP just inside that arena. That could have worked really well for them. There was definitely potential in their ideas there. But the moment you take that DP away from the middle lane, she doesn't get the XP she needs. She doesn't get the power she needs. And I don't know, it just felt very awkward, and it just felt like they didn't hit the timings. And I think that was kind of, amplified by their decision to put the Mars in mid. But, I mean, Bcop, talk to me about this Visage. That was pretty neat, right?
Yeah, it did everything we thought it was going to do. It felt like such a presence. There was a couple moments where maybe Visage wasn't as strong in these team fights, and there was a couple times where Ehome kind of at least drove themselves out of position. I think that was like when they were losing fights, you saw them extend a little bit too far. But the Visage, especially in that fight over right by the Roche pit, where he went into the stone form and then just made it so they had to waste everything on him and were out of position, was exactly what we thought the Visage was going to do. And that lane went really well for them. The damage output just so early on made it such a struggle. The Luna died a couple times in that early part of the lane, and it just felt so bad for the Luna.
Yeah. He was a little underfarmed on the Visage, perhaps, but like, Visage is a hero that with no items does a lot of damage. Maybe his item build this game also, like, I know that 3-3 from Tundra does this build every game pretty much, but there's a big purpose behind it. Like, this game, I didn't really see the purpose.
Okay.
I feel like if he just went for
grip.
pipe, BKB grip, whole duration again. Yeah, but if he just goes like from a more aura and defensive approach, I think it's going to be much better for the team. But they didn't need it.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't need it. He built the axe, became that quote-unquote that global presence, that invis presence, and yeah, worked out perfectly for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a trade in the top lane where you're saying like, okay, our Visage is going to die a couple of times, going to get beaten down a bit, but in response, the Luna's also going to get beaten down. And, there was a couple of times we saw the Earthshaker just running under tower and just having like a little bit of extra movement speed. As such a big deal in that lane. So, yeah, they just made the trades, made some great trade deals up in the top lane, and came out with a profit in the end. As you mentioned, the Visage can still do a ton without much gold, but the Luna, she most certainly cannot. And that was basically the biggest factor of this game in the end.
And even with a ton of gold, you can't do anything in this game. It's the problem.
True.
Which is why we're like, yeah, Ehome probably got this if it goes like past 30 minutes, which is pretty much what happened here. How do you stop this E-Blade Axe Morphling? He just jumps at you, bursts one guy, jumps at the next guy. You got the Razor chasing another guy. Like, how you can't actually approach these team fights. Like, you just see they can't do anything. The Luna running.
And look at how much they're focusing on the Bane too. Like, that just leaves the Luna, super out of position, and they knew they couldn't win that fight and they couldn't win the game. Like, they sent the Death Prophet and the Mars to go for that Bane, and they used the Refresher to have the second spear just to hit the Bane to get him out of position.
Yeah.
And even then, like, you're focusing two people like that. Like, that's just not going to be a fight that goes your way.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate loss. Like, losing in a draft like this always feels bad, especially if you're like the quote-unquote like underdog team, but it also shows why you're considered the underdogs, because the draft is a big part of the game. Yeah. It's, you could consider it a mini game before the actual game, and if you lose that, it's just so hard to play like actual Dota. And yeah, Ehome did a very good job at that. Phoenix, hopefully next game will do a better job, because they didn't look bad when they played. It's just they had no options.
They kind of fell out of options real quickly on that draft, and I think that's something that, especially this early on, you need to like really focus on. Get yourself like, where did it go wrong? Try and find out those like reasons that it went wrong, and draft better for game 2, because I think this is definitely a matchup where with a better draft, like Phoenix certainly has a chance against Ehome. I think this is a close matchup overall, but when you get outdrafted like that, it's going to look like that every single time.
Yeah.
Do you agree though, Black? Like, do you think that what this new Phoenix showed here, do you think that skill is there from them? Do you think they are capable of bringing it, on level as to what we're seeing from Ehome at the moment?
I think individually, yes. It just seems their teamwork and their like who do we focus kind of is off. Because as Bikov said, like the two strongest heroes are focusing on support while your entire backline is getting destroyed. And yeah, like you definitely got to make sure that everyone is doing their job. Like you don't want to do somebody else's job, which especially in like a more novice team can happen. Where like, oh, like I got to grip 4 times. And now everybody just focuses on the Bane because the carry was probably like, yo guys, I'm getting gripped every fight. It's a big problem for me. And then at that point, it's already too late because Morphling now just solo kills the Luna. Like they don't need to grip him anymore. It's yeah. They have a lot of figuring out to do. I do think the individual skill is there. The team play needs a lot of work though, and their draft also needs a lot of work. But there is ample of time, lots of games to play, so maybe they can make it work.
And our MVP for this game was, of course, 7E on the Razor.
Yeah.
No surprises there. Did a great job, even though he did have that Mars match with the middle lane. Didn't really care, just kept farming up. And
Haste rune hacker, though. He had so many haste runes. Like every second rune was a haste again. On a Razor, that is every time a free gank, right? You go to the side lane with a haste rune, dead.
Yeah. I mean, you got to make your blood sacrifice to Gabe in the morning, and then every rune you get will be the one you want. Absolutely. It's always a freebie on Razor as well. There's an interesting stat there, the gold to damage ratio there. That's an interesting one to think about, but it makes sense, right?
I like that one, yeah. Because oftentimes we see this like really massive 30k net worth carry, and then it dealt like 5k damage. And like, yeah.
5k hero damage, like 20k building damage. Like, okay, I know what your job was. You're literally just there to end the game whilst your team did everything else. Thanks, mate.
What else is there? What is the second one? Just net worth in general, right? The little coin symbol was net worth.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh, good, clean game from Ehome in game number 1. We'll see if they can do the same thing in game number 2, which will be coming up shortly. So other than draft, do you think there was anything else, which you want to see Phoenix working on for the second game?
Yeah, it's got to be the execution as well, of course. Like it was good on, as I said, on an individual level, but when it came to team fights, they were kind of like lost a little bit because they just focused the wrong heroes. It's like it's very fundamental in Dota, not all the time, most of the time, that you protect your backline properly, but they kind of just sacrificed their backline to breach the enemy's backline, which wasn't as important to them. It's like, oh no, the Bane is so annoying, the Visage so annoying, but yeah, what happens if the Morph and Razor are on top of all of your heroes? What do? There's nothing you can do. So you gotta just play more compact, and gotta make sure you protect the heroes that can actually handle them a little bit. Your stunners, the Mirana, the Mars needs to get up multiple spears, everything. It's
his job it felt like almost too overwhelming. Like he had to do so much in those fights. And the arenas didn't even feel like they were enough. Like even if he landed a spear and took somebody out of the fight for a couple seconds, it just never felt like it was enough from him.
Yeah, part of the draft problem, unfortunately. You pick one stun that's not even a direct stun. It's like a still skill shot. He hit most of his spears though, so that was a very good job by him. But even then, what do you do? One arrow follow up? That's it. Yeah, okay. Luna Beam, maybe. But,
Luna Beam.
It's just nothing compared to like a Bane. It's like he just grips you.
Yeah,
you're like,
absolutely.
Full duration grip, and then you've also got the Earthshaker, and then you've also got Morphling. Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get a patch last night, did we? But I want to know what your guys' patch wish list is for this one. What do you guys want to see changed up the most? Bikop, you're talking a little bit about jungling whilst we were watching that game there. You want to see a return to jungling?
I would be okay with that. I also think like just map changes in general. I want to see something a little bit different. I want to see maybe if you can make it so Roche is like being in the pit is a bit of a disadvantage, like forcing yourself into a position where like it's a risk because it feels like you go into Roche and if you're, 2 people are dead, you're just gonna get the Aegis like every single time. I thought it would be cool if like maybe your passives get kind of nullified in the Roche pit, but maybe that's too much of a disadvantage given the outside.
broken in the pit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things.
Goodbye,
right?
Ursa. Come back next patch.
Like maybe Roshan just nullifies all the runes that you get when you run into the pit.
Yeah, like,
that'd be cool,
double
yeah.
damage shenanigans
just
shouldn't
spells you or
happen.
something.
Yeah, or maybe he gets like a passive buff, like the more heroes are in the pit, like he gets like a 10% damage resistance or whatever. Like as soon as 2 heroes are in the pit, or 3 or 4, like something just to make him stronger, because you feel so weak, honestly.
Such an easy objective.
It's like, okay, we killed the who did they kill? Oh yeah, the Elder Titan. We got 30 seconds. All right, let's do Roche.
and your prize is
they can't-
massive.
Yeah.
The second life, or even getting like shard, or having like anything you get from Roche, the risk to reward is just like, for the most part, it feels so like, we'll go to Roche. It's never like, let's take Roche, guys. Like, let's figure this out a little bit more, just so we can get, Ag's blessing, another life,
I
a
wouldn't
refresher
mind
shard.
if Roshan was just like this, like absolute boss that he's supposed to be. Like really like this raid boss kind of guy. It's like, okay, we need like this whole minute, all 5 heroes in the pit to actually take him down. It would be so sick.
It would definitely be cool. And that's what he's meant to be. Maybe we get our boy Roche some justice for Roshan, and he gets a bit of a buff in the next patch. We can hope so. Let us know what you guys want to see changed in the upcoming patch. But we do have ourselves a draft for game number 2. So let's get into it and find out what's going to be cooking up for the second match.
Bane.
I don't like that opening. Or at least now I have a stun. Not the easiest stun to hit.
I don't like Ehome's opening. It's boring. Same thing again? Come on, guys.
When it works,
Winning
no.
is good though.
Winning is good.
Winning is good.
Wise words from Black.
Did they? No, it's the same pick order again. Also, right? Ehome first pick again.
Not sure.
believe.
I like the Nyx Assassin though.
Yeah, Nyx is like
Much
especially
easier way to find the Bane.
Yeah, in the Dota pit we saw so much of the Nyx during the later
It
phases.
was always
of
the
it.
counter Miposia.
That is a close up on the left.
So strong, very close up. Yeah, like, where did I put my face cam? Like right next to my face.
You're taking it very literally.
And Zoe played really well for a game that felt like it was very one-sided.
He did. But
Yeah, I mean, it was the mid March. You kind of need to be doing stuff, but when it came to I mean, individually it was fine, but it was just in the team fights where they just relied on him way too much. Like if he didn't land like a nice 3-man arena, actually he did land 3-man arenas. It didn't matter though.
yeah,
BKB is just cool arena, dude.
I was like, guys, I got the 3-man arena, and then Luna's just in the sidelines getting like gripped with a BKB again. You're like, okay, cool, have fun.
at least in a 3-man arena, it's a good confidence booster.
True. All right, they're having some fun now. Ehome, they're picking up the Ruby, they're picking up the Pangolier. Is this a good Rubik game? Because we haven't really been seeing so much of that hero recently.
It's very good against Nyx. Whatever you steal from Nyx is very strong. DP also has a lot of very strong spells. Yeah, I think it's a decent Rubik game. Not like the greatest, like Steel RP kind of Ravage, whatever, but it's a good hero together with Pangolier that can muster a decently strong offlane combination. Could even be a mid Pangolier as well. But I do like Phoenix drafts a lot more, because when you pick this DP, the biggest weakness is you just run away. Now you have Glimpse, you have Rupture, you got a Nyx Assassin to set it all up. Makes a lot more sense to have this DP now, and they're playing around it much better. And they actually answer the problems that they had last game in a way better fashion as well.
Yeah.
That Bane's answered quite a bit.
Yeah, also Morphling, he hates playing against Disruptor. Morphlings generally don't want to build early BKB, but this game he just might have to.
Same bans as well from Ehome there. They're literally just copy pasting the bans there to protect their Morphling, of course.
But Bloodseeker is actually pretty decent against Morphling. If it's a carry, you get the shard. Like Morphing up doesn't really help you because it just increases the damage that Bloodseeker deals.
Yep.
It can be a great matchup on paper.
Worried it's gonna make Morphling have to build super defensively, and then like we watch Morphlings that build like BKB or Link.
You can't do that anymore. Like that's so outdated. Like so many times I see like BKB Lincoln's Manta style. You're just so bad. Like you do nothing in team fights.
Yeah.
You wave in, guys. I'm shining, and I'm hitting you for 50 damage.
Yeah, and then you're just dead. And
I'm
you're
making you
right.
wet. But yeah, same band still the troll band out, which is very interesting because Bane, Pango, and Rubik are quite good at dealing with troll, right? They just kite him, you sleep him, you disarm him.
Yeah, that's
Even
what I was thinking.
The
It
roll
seems
as
like-
well. Yeah.
Well, I guess this Morphling player is really like must be just an annoying dude. He's just like, ban my troll, guys. It's fine, dude.
Yeah.
We got disarms. We got Bane.
Guys,
No,
in my
I'm
last
not
pub
playing
game,
against troll.
he
Protect
built the
me, protect
diffusal.
A bit of a diva.
I had no mana. This game was a great anti-match game, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah,
Last game you said it was a good anti-mage.
it
game,
was,
too.
but now it's even better
Wow.
because they don't have like any direct stun at all other than the lift.
We need to get a counter for every time Black says it's a good anti-mage game. We're already well.
yep.
You,
2 out of 2.
yeah.
I didn't say
well,
it on
you didn't say it
camera,
on camera in the first game, but you
but
did
I
say
admit it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like I'm fighting my word.
So 2 games, anti-mage guys.
Yeah, but
Start
that means
picking
it's an
anti-mage.
off-lane Bloodseeker. Not the biggest fan. I do think Bloodseeker is... He can be a decent off-laner, just if you don't have a good laning phase or don't snowball with kills, you fall off. Sure, maybe they just picked it to counter the Pangolier, but
I like it carry. I like
Same.
Bloodseeker carry a lot.
me too. Scales very well too.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of people see Bloodseeker like, oh, that's very high tempo, but it can be, but it can also scale very nicely. The shard allows you to do that. Some cool late game talents as well. First movement speed.
Same bans.
Wonder if they're gonna do something like.
Pick Razor.
Well, Mars got banned. I thought they were gonna do like I thought they were gonna do like
What's this?
Centaur and just go to the Centaur Rubik lane or something like that.
It might be...
Don't think you want to pick Razor into Bloodseeker though. That feels. Wait, what?
they're
Oh,
good
there it is.
there.
Lina. Okay.
Lina, yeah. Which is what we spoke about in the first draft. The answer to Death Prophet. Very strong.
Are against the Nyx Assassin though? A little bit of a.
It can be a little risky. However, with this new like travels into BKB build, you kind of try to mitigate the problem at least.
Okay.
Yeah. So it can work, but of course, if you get stunned out of a carapace, you're still just dead.
Yeah.
But if DP is ever on top of you with those ghosts, you are going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they don't want to do Bloodseeker carry, I very much want them to pick a carry that just absorbs the whole map, like a Terrorblade or Anti-Mage, something like that. It's just like, can accumulate everything, because those 4 heroes, they're very good at fighting. Or if you want Bloodseeker carry, you can do that too, and pick a better offlane against Morphling.
I think they need some catch though. I want to see them pick like Sand King, maybe something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just the lanes might be a little bit rough. Like Bane Morph is not a weak lane.
No.
And they banned their own Legion commander. They actually banned offlaners, expecting the Pangolier to be middle. Like they banned their own heroes.
Yeah, it kind of put them in a weird spot.
Yeah.
Unless they're definitely going to the Bloodseeker in the offlane or something like that, or even
Which kind of makes me feel like they do want to do that Bloodseeker offlane, because they did ban the best offlaners for
Yeah,
themselves.
that kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Is there a carry with a lot of catch? Because I mean, the biggest thing for me is like right now you've got not enough to jump on this Lina and this Morphling.
Yeah,
right?
Void is the best
Needs
one.
catch.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Anti-Mage in the mid game is actually one of the best heroes that can do that, because you just jump the backline.
Wraith. Oh no.
TA?
TA definitely my pick right there.
Okay, so it's a carry TA, I guess.
It might be.
That?
It's a mid TA and offlane DP again.
Huh. Okay.
All right. I mean, they do want to dodge the bad matchup of DP against Lina, but now you have another bad matchup of Lina against TA. Like TA used to counter Lina way back, but Lina received so many buffs that the matchup is really bad for TA now. But of course, you can just go to the jungle. But, I mean, it complements the draft well, as we said though, because they did someone that can farm fast and farm a lot, right? Absorb the map, which a TA definitely can do. So I like it in that regard. Do I like the TA in particular though? It's tough to say. Like, Morphling is just so good against TA, right? He has like 50 armor. It's like, you can't ever kill that guy.
Unkillable.
Yeah, like I do think they are on a timer again. Like if this Morphling gets too big, it's gonna get very troublesome. But I like the draft a lot better than the first one. They have more answers, they have more catch. Still lacking the stun department, unfortunately, but can't have everything, I guess. Still gonna go Ehome's way, of course.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Kind of like Phoenix. I don't know.
I Phoenix feeling a little bit spicy.
A
Go for
spicy take. I like Phoenix this game. All
right,
I
all
want
right.
to
With
say
the hero, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I love Phoenix the hero as well, but I want to say Morphling's timer, if he plays defensively, might
All right,
be a
the
little bit
game
longer.
is now live, so let's waste no time in jumping into it with our Cryptic and Neff for game number 2.
Right on. Thank you so much, Nomad, for sending that over. Now, I kind of agree with what they're saying. Phoenix does have a little bit of a better draft here in game 2 than maybe in what they had in game number 1. It wasn't as like clear cut of an out draft, but I do like Ehome's draft here quite a bit. Again,
Yeah, the only issue is being able to jump his Lina on the back line. I do have some solutions, like the Nyx Assassin is there. You're gonna be able to get the Spike Carapace off, followed by an Impale, and that's going to tear them apart. But oh man, we are into this quick.
we just don't even care. We're just going for it, yeah. So one thing to note, we have ZZQ once again on the Bane, shining on his offlane Death Prophet. So it is something that we see a lot, like this DP being flexed from mid and off lane. And yeah, they were right. You know, you do dodge that kind of rough mid matchup of into the Lina, but I don't necessarily think you have. I don't think it ends up being that much better anyway. We saw Shiro last game do pretty good against this same hero, right? The Death Prophet off lane.
Yeah, and so he's decent at playing against. The only issue is like the Morphling is going to be able to play too far into the Death Prophet, right? If you try to commit and like morph over to strength or to do like a bunch of damage, then she is just going to Spirit Siphon all your HP away and be just as quick as for trading you as would be like a max agility Morphling. So it's better in that way. The mid lane matchup, you don't get as owned against Alina because you're actually able to take advantage of your Spirit Siphon. But Black did mention that in the draft. Like against the Lina, you're just kind of forced to move into the jungle, and TA is very good at eating up a lot of farm on the map. But that means you're letting Lina do her own thing, and she farms incredibly quickly. If you leave her alone, she's going to be able to take down your tier 1 tower in no time at all, thanks to Fiery Soul. So you have to be a little bit careful with how much you leave Lina alone for your own farm. I mean, that's the issue with Dota, is being able to maximize taking as much farm as you can off the map, while also not letting the enemy do what they want too much. And I think 70 has a pretty easy time doing what he wants this game.
Zone with a nice deny there, actually. But yeah, you're right. I think one thing you have to be careful of is just like the modern build on the Lina, right? You don't go this like Yule's caster build. It's just this boots of travel, BKB, and you just go right-click damage, right? Like you try and just farm up and stand your ground in these fights. And 7E, we saw him do pretty much just that on the Razor. He was being the aggressor previously, but this time he's going to be able to sit back a little bit more and just be this kind of ranged artillery for his team as it goes late. And you still have to worry about Shiro on the Morphling. I mean, he crushed it game 1 on this hero.
Yeah. Team did make a decent space for him, though. Put him the hurt on the Shiro to begin with, but just able to morph over, shift back up. Not doing the best so far, only sitting at 4 CS, but wave pushed pretty far in, and they'll continue to push thanks to being half a wave up here, doing weird things with the creep wave. Over in the top lane.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about this. So we have Zeal on his Pango going against M77's Bloodseeker. Now, the lane, it's not actually that great for the Bloodseeker unless he's already committed like Swashbuckle or something, because he can just get out of the Bloodright pretty easily. But as the game goes on, obviously Bloodseeker, one of the best counters to the Pangolier. We've seen a few different like utility builds out of Bloodseekers like from the offlane, but this is definitely going to be that like kind of safe lane carry, like Maelstrom into BKB. The Shard eventually, like Black was talking about, being very good against the Morphling because it's percentage-based damage, right? The Morph doesn't actually make you tankier in that regard.
Yeah, that pure damage that you get from each auto attack. Now, I am a little bit, I disagree with you slightly about the Morphling going like super hard carry, because again, you do have a Templar Assassin on your team. That, I think, is going to be your actual position 1. Like, yes, you're playing safe lane on this Bloodseeker, but the Templar Assassin is going to be at the top of the net worth, and the Bloodseeker is going to be giving up farm and stacks to this Templar Assassin pretty much every stage in the game. This hero does do a lot of damage as the game goes on, so Bloodseeker probably going to be a little bit more active alongside this Death Prophet while TA eats up the farm on the map.
Yeah, it's a really good point, actually. So maybe we'll see like just that Maelstrom as like the early farming item, and then just into like BKB. I think Ag's Refresher is like one of the most busted builds on Bloodseeker. This game, there's not a ton of reasons to go for like say the Refresher, but Planet here. This might just be first blood. Yeah, Connect Field into that blood right first. Gonna go the way of LWW here. Zeal trying to chase him down. Does get the trade on the Pangolier, so not worst case scenario there for Ehome, but first blood going the way of Disruptor. Obviously, you'd love to have it on the Bloodseeker if possible.
He did a good chunk of damage to Zeal as he chased him out of the lane, so let's make the lane a little bit easier for the Bloodseeker. And yeah, it looks like Maelstrom straight into BKB, and then probably some other utility items after that. Basher wouldn't be too bad this game. Or, I don't know, another tool to stay on top of Lina, be able to trade with her reasonably well. Because right now, Nick Assassin has a lot of work cut out for him at the start. Like, Zone will eventually be able to jump his Lina on the back line, but I think as long as Lina only has one hero to worry about, which right now is the Nick Assassin, then her game can be pretty easy. And speaking of, top of the CS charts right now, 21-8, the 15-2 of the Templar.
And it's just going to keep getting more favorable here for 7E. Gets a nice easy camp pull there into the bottle refill. Love to see it.
Unfortunately, camp doesn't give you as much XP or gold as it used to. He did end up nerfing that one just after TI.
Yeah, this is why I'm not a mid laner. I never remember that pull.
No.
I just like go to a bottle and then I'm like, What could have been, you know?
Yeah. That's how you beat people who are better than you in the mid lane. You just pick something that spams in the creep wave, and then you clear out your small camp. Just don't engage with them at all.
Yeah. Shining here in bottom lane on the Death Prophet, going to contest this pull here pretty easily too, right? You have Crypt Swarm to just spam out the lane. I'm actually really excited to watch Planet here on the Rubik. I mean, we saw him last game on his Earthshaker just do so much work, finding so many big pickoffs, and Rubik's one of those heroes that kind of has the same impact, especially once you pick up some really important abilities. And I mean, Impale, very good. All of Death Prophet's abilities are pretty good as well. You can farm super easily with just Fade Bolt and a single Crypt Swarm. So...
yeah, there's a lot to choose from here. I think the best is probably just like Impale, but even taking Mana Burn when you've got the extra cast range.
Dude, Mana Burn is so frustrating, especially if you're Death Prophet here, right? Like, that is a lot of damage.
Yeah.
LWW getting aggressive here onto Planet. Zone rotating in, not going to be able to find the kill. Maybe he doesn't have Meld quite yet. I think, yeah, 3 points for Fraction. That's about standard, especially when you're playing against this mid Lina.
Yeah.
And just jungling now, and this is kind of what we expected, right? Push out of the lane. Black was talking about it a while back. You know, TA used to be a pretty decent matchup into the Lina, but just like a year worth of buffs, this hero is just so strong. Zeal top lane, caught inside the Blood Right. That will connect. The question is, can he make it to the tower? Bloodseeker really fast here with so much bonus damage and Swashbuckle coming off cooldown. He will be safe for now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to commit into that one. If he gets disarmed as he continues to run down Zeal,
God, that's the
then
worst.
Yeah. Getting disarmed when you're trying to chase down a Pangolier under his own tower is the absolute worst.
It's, yeah.
Like, you've outplayed the enemy, it's time to dive, he hits you once and then you're disarmed. It comes off cooldown, you're disarmed again on his next hit.
And he swashbuckles you and you're disarmed.
Yeah, and then your lane that you spent the last 5 minutes winning is just lost off of that.
Yeah.
So good restraint there.
Radiant's top tower
You don't
is under
necessarily, that's the one thing that's really, like, important to note when you're, you know, playing in any lane, right? You don't necessarily have to get the kill. The kill isn't, like, the most important thing, but you can see Pangolier, he's so under-farmed compared to these other heroes, and it's just because of the pressure they're applying, making sure that he doesn't have the ability to contest the wave.
Yeah, and again, it only gets more difficult. Once his Bloodseeker hits level 6, you just bring anybody who's got a TP cancel, and the Pangolier doesn't really get to exist up there anymore.
You see a TP rotation in from the Rubik here to the bottom lane. ZZQ does have that Nightmare, but doesn't make it in range. The Nyx Assassin, all those legs, he's so fast.
Yeah, speedy boy. That's why he buys extra boots.
Yes. One for each foot, right?
Yeah.
That's why you have 6 slots, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's a little bit of lore for everybody.
Yeah. Smoke to the mid lane. Zeal top lane. There it is. The Bloodseeker's Rupture. Just too much to deal with as a Pangolier. Nice glimpse, the good old combo there. Mid lane Nightmare will find the Templar Assassin, and she is alone, but Refraction keeping her alive for the moment. Do they have the damage to bring him down? A couple more seconds, couple more auto attacks, but he makes it away. Nice impale from YP as well, and TA calm and collected as she keeps herself alive. Salved up now by LWW and just going to rejoin the lane.
Yeah. Tried to switch over to Strength, and the extra arm from the tower managed to keep her alive, so nice rotation there as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But yeah, not an easy game right now for the Templar Assassin. You're laying against an opponent that's pretty difficult, and you need somebody to make space for you. Right now, it's not happening in the bottom lane. She goes to shoving this lane in. In the top lane, I think Bloodseeker needs to start making, a couple of plays.
Yeah, he's going to be having to use this Rupture on cooldown, especially against this Pangolier, just continuing to shut down his game. And you have Rolling Thunder online, but it's not there's not like a really good target for you to go on without help, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pango needs to be doing something with other people on his team. And Morphling, we haven't really talked about him too much. He's basically got, right now, a free game. Like, the amount of pressure the rest of his team is going to be able to put on the enemies here means he gets to do whatever the hell he wants.
I like Zeal's build here. This is what we typically see a lot out of the new offlane Pango build, is just maxing the shield crash instead of swashbuckle, right? Like, the damage reduction, the cooldown reduction, it just scales incredibly well. So I like the decision here, going for mana boots as well.
Yeah. Only reason, well, again, you can't really max out to the swashbuckle in the lane against Bloodseeker. You just want to be able to get out of those blood rates or be able to dodge into the trees or something like that. But, you know, you're playing against Disruptor as well, and we saw that last time. You tried to jump up to the top of the trees, but the vision that you get from the Thunder Strike.
Nice restraint from 7E there, waiting for the bounty runes to appreciate in value. Stonks there, very nice. ZZQ found here by Templar Assassin. Nice Nightmare behind space. Zeal, a little bit of an awkward swashbuckle there and gets glimpsed out as a result. So unable to really do much in this fight. And both teams... Wait, oh, a counter. I was like, where's this glimpse coming from? Shiro's joining the fight. We'll be able to bring down LWW, potentially Thunderstrike. Help set up the kill there for ZZQ.
And that glimpse is on the other foot now, and they're going to be able to do a little bit of damage to this tier 1 tower. Yeah, nobody's going to be able to get a place to defend this one. And they do need to make these movements before the Disruptor hits level 6. Once he's got Static Storm, you know, the Morphling playing far forward at all is going to be near impossible.
They're looking for M77, but a really nice ward there off the side of that tower. Will be able to scout this rotation, so he's going to retreat into his jungle. Again, more pressure applied to towers, though. That's kind of the game here for Ehome. They want to just try and take these objectives early, and they haven't quite got mid tower. It is low, but with 7E's rotation here to the top lane, it looks like they will be able to do quite a bit of damage here to tier 1, maybe even finish it off. They have no fortification available. Phoenix do smoke up, head this way, though. Rubik kind of putting his body between the enemies and the Lina. The question is, will they actually make it in time? It doesn't look like they just sack it. 7, he grabs the tower uncontested.
They realize that the Rubik's somewhere around there, and they don't want to catch him out. They want to be able to get somebody else as they're retreating, and they might just...
Smoke still got a decent amount of time left on it. The question is, who do you find? YP does not have Vendetta yet, so it's not easy. Zeal does get caught for the moment by the silence. Pangolier, Swashbuckle. Should be able to buy him plenty of space if he needs it. But yeah, they don't find anything.
A little bit too, well, Nick's Assassin was a little bit too far away for him to be able to commit the rupture there on M77 to be able to jump into the trees.
And look at Morphling mid. He's just chipping the tower once again. So you've just got, you got the mid tower. You waste a lot of time on this smoke rotation from Phoenix, and you're still farming on these other heroes.
Yeah, and they're giving them the runaround right now, too. Like, they all TP to the mid lane in order to defend that one, because that was getting pushed in. More important objective. Then they move all the heroes up to the top, take that. They follow them. They don't catch anything. So a lot of wasted time right now on the map, and zones farming up, but not as quick as these heroes on the side of Ehome. And I do think that you have the late game. Like,
here's your Vendetta reveal here from YP, and that's going to be a, convenient Maelstrom proc there, but yeah, we knew it was coming eventually once this Nyx Assassin gets that level 6. Going to start finding these kills, especially, you know, if you're going to be solo in this top lane. Yeah. Very easy.
Yeah, it's the Lina that has to be careful, though. If she gives up into the Nyx Assassin, it does slow down your game quite a bit, but because Nyx Assassin was just up in the top lane, 7E realizes it's safe enough in the mid. Clears that one out and can move into the triangle. So I imagine pretty quickly Nyx Assassin is going to want to start trying to set up vision around there. But I don't think anyone else on the team is that ready to like invade the deep parts of the enemy's map. Like Bloodseeker definitely wants his BKB before he tries doing anything like that.
I'm curious if Death Prophet's really been able to do much this bottom tower. You know, she's been down here for quite a while. Exorcism is available on her way to the Yule. She might actually have it flying out right now. Yeah. So
that's on the courier right now.
A lot of, and there it is, the Crypt Swarm. That's what I'm talking about. Planet. This is all you need on this hero. Level 4 Crypt Swarm, level 4 Fade Bolt. Waves do not exist now for the side of Phoenix Gaming.
You got the keen optic too. We got the extra cast range. All
right, they're gonna smoke. They want to punish Rubik here. Planet positioning himself pretty well. No TP for another 46 seconds. He should be able to take the next wave.
He dies after.
But he dies, I think, when he does it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're actually making a little bit of space. They're going mid lane. TP's coming through. They've already popped Shining and LWW here. The Glimpse will be able to find the Bane. A nice silence there to be able to set this one up, and another kill. Going to go the way of Phoenix now 2-4. But again, you're not getting objectives. You're just getting a couple pickoffs on supports, and you got to start getting something out of this.
Yeah, give them the runaround again. They thought they wanted to take that tier 1 tower and Rubik down their bottom lane. They will probably be able to get this mid tier 1.
Yeah, the Exorcism, Zeal with the Swashbuckle trying to slow it down. Rolling Thunder, he's going to drop it in M77. Without the Rupture, can't really stop him. TP in from the Morph. He gets caught right away inside the Static Storm, but he's so tanky. He had the Strength Morph off. Yes, you got the tower, but the question is, can you get out now? Is 7E able to find that Bloodseeker on the backside? And that is the biggest kill there for them. And they also take down the Disruptor. They're just going to turn this into a tier 1 of their own. So it's just a trade.
Did not have, I guess, the magical damage in order to bring down that, or sorry, the physical damage to bring down that Morphling when he more full strength as he came in. Like, it was a nice attempt there by the Disruptor, but as soon as that's committed, then it's their time to just get back. So they trade tier 1s in the mid lane, but honestly, I think that does favor the side of Ehome.
Yeah.
They're happy that you committed so many abilities for that one. You didn't get enough from it.
And they got the Bloodseeker, right? He's the most farmed hero on the side of Phoenix. He's been having a really good time. A lot of space being made for him recently, but with that death, going to slow him down a little bit. It's the worst thing that can happen. There's going to be the Rupture bottom lane onto 7E. He's trying to just outrun this one. There is no chance to be able to find that kill. Nicely done here by YP and M77.
That was only a matter of time. If you don't have the BKB on the Lina, like you are going to be the #1 target for the enemy team. Like, you are worth the most gold. You're very squishy. All you have is the boots of travel. So just melted there.
Yeah, you need the BKB is going to be really valuable for the Lina. The only real thing they're going to have to stop it will be an eventual Basher pickup on M77. So it's going to be a while before they could really deal with it. Lincoln Sphere is being worked on the Morphling as well. So it looks, so far, things are going really good for the side of Phoenix. They've kind of restabilized from a little bit of a rough lane stage, but this Pangolier has had no game.
The Pango, yeah, he definitely needs like a Blink Dagger, Yule Scepter in order to deal with his Bloodseeker and actually get into these fights. Right now, he's struggling quite a bit. I mean, that's the nature of just playing against the Bloodseeker. When you're Pango, though, like, your game is basically just Zac. You're still very useful at times, but it's very difficult to play around everything that Bloodseeker's doing.
Yeah, you just have to wait for Rupture, right? Like, you just can't get Ruptured as this hero.
Or you stop in your tracks after you do initiation, but for that to get like a good initiation despite being Ruptured, or like him Rupturing you immediately, you need a Blink Dagger for that one. So
yeah,
needs a couple of items.
Yeah, it might be a Lincoln's game for him as well, right?
Yeah. We got Lincoln Sphere queued up on a couple of heroes this game.
Rotating around onto the top side of the river here, Rolling Thunder being pump faked, but they decide they don't want to take that fight, so vision advantage there would have definitely favored Ehome.
Yep. Well, Desolator almost done on the Templar Assassin. I think he needs another 300 gold, then she's going to be looking to play a little bit more aggressively. They see 7E again.
Yeah,
this is it. They're going to dive so far for 7E, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Impale from the backside, and they're going to go and TP on some. Zeal, he's got Rupture, though, as he's going to drop it. Yeah, the Pangolier trying to do what he can, though. Great Fiend's Grip from CZQ, able to trade that kill. Out for the Bloodseeker. Zeal does end up going down, but Shining will join him. LWW behind the Tier 1 tower. Planet here will find him, and Shiro going to help be able to chase him down. It's only a matter of time before this Disruptor will fall. And wait for him on forward. Shiro grabs himself a double kill. So they get really aggressive there behind the tower. It is punished by Ehome. Honestly, I feel like it's not even... It's kind of an even trade at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, anything to slow down this Lina's BKB. Slower this comes out, well, if she doesn't have this, then she's not really able to participate in the team fights. Like, she's to be so worried about the Spike Carapace from Nyx Assassin. Everyone is going to jump her. She ends up becoming free gold. So slowing down her game is definitely worth it. But you are still concerned about the Morphling. They're talking about this during the draft, the panel there. This Morphling, you know, he has 1 million agility. He has way too much armor. The minus armor and the physical damage you do on Templar Assassin is not going to scale that well against Shiro. Bloodseeker has to be the solution to that one.
You know, if you don't have the TA for the Meld Strike, you know, just take it on Morphling. So a lot of damage being done to this Roshan. They're taking it a lot faster, I think, than Phoenix Gaming would have anticipated. And this is a big pickup for the side of Ehome, and Aegis going to give Shiro a lot of space to farm, and they've got it now. Pangolier, Spike Carapace, going to be able to stun him up for the moment. YP pops that Vendetta, able to walk away. Does not going to connect the Rupture, though, holding Zeal down, and ZZQ, that's the Deso reveal here from Zone, and that damage, just too much for him to deal with. But Shining just gets bursted instead. A 1 for 2 now as they take down the Pangolier, and looks like she will just TP out here on the Lina. No way to cancel it.
Yeah. They lose Pangolier. I mean, it was a couple seconds until...
Ooh, LWW, they did not leave, baby. They were waiting.
Oh, a surprise. He felt so confident towards the end there. At the beginning of that team fight, he didn't have his ultimate available. And at the end, he's like, yeah, I have this. If they commit on me, my team will turn that around on me. But not fast enough.
No. But again, this is what we saw last game, right? Shiro grabs the first Aegis here on the Morphling. It's going to give him time to work towards his next item. With that Lincoln Sphere done, it's just... Whoa, that is quite the spike in the graph here we've had.
Stonks, baby. Let's go.
A little bit of back and forth action here. Love to see it, though. I mean, very close game, 9-9. Almost no gold or XP lead for either team.
Yeah, I mean, the reason it looks like that is because there hasn't been really a very big discrepancy. So just jumping around.
Nice turnaround here from ZZQ on the Bane. They had the ward on the high ground, so they started seeing these extra heroes rotating on N7E, trying to find someone. I mean, if he gets M77, he does with the Light Strike Array. The burst damage is there.
I was saying he was going to be fine because he had a BKB, but you know, didn't pop it when that Light Strike Array came out. In the middle of his cast animation for his rupture, he turned around. That's when it connected with him. But imagine
top
he's trying
lane.
to hit it.
Found by the Morphling here as well. The E-Blade does a lot of damage, but slowed up for the moment. Shiro's going to turn himself into the Death Prophet, try and find this kill. Adaptive Strike in one. Does he actually chase underneath the towers? It looks like he's going to, but he goes right into a Static Storm, and he's morphing Aginev. He will have the Aegis to protect him, and the rest of the team, they're rotating on in. Planet will build telekinesis up zone. The LSA comes through as well. They don't have the detection for the moment. They do. The feed script comes in from ZZQ, holding him down. They take down the Templar Assassin. A beautiful rotation in from Ehome. Now looking for more behind the tower. They find the Nyx Assassin. Vendetta will not protect him. There's the BKB from 7E. Will be able to chase him down, and YP not going to be able to survive. Exorcism paused here by Shining. We'll actually buy them a little bit of time here potentially, but the Impales from Planet, you got to be so careful. This ability is so good on the Rubik, but they find themselves potentially another here on the backside. Shining, it's caught. E-Blade combo comes out once again from Shiro. This fight going on for days here, it seems, as Rolling Thunder now coming in from Zeal, protected by the Lincoln Sphere. Good luck trying to stop this roly-poly as LLW. Gonna get found. Planet. Dude, they actually juked him on this Bloodseeker on the backside. That was actually a really nice footwork there. He's got the schmoves, as you like to say, right?
Advanced movement there
Yeah.
on the Bloodseeker. Impressive. The rest of his team, not so much. Dove under the tier 2 tower there. Creeps far from it as well. That unfortunate for the Disruptor. Ended up committing that initial Static Storm because he's just worried about keeping his team alive there, but had nothing for him when he came back up.
Yeah, exactly. The Aegis expires, or you commit for the Aegis, and then what?
Yeah. They didn't really think about what came after that, so I respect the hell out of that dive. I thought there was no way he ends up getting out of that one alive, but ended up taking down so many heroes, and this becomes a massive XP and net worth advantage.
I can just imagine Shiro in comms being like, no, we're diving.
We're
We're
diving,
going,
yeah.
guys. Like, come on. Just telling his whole team to just go for it. Ends up paying off big there.
I mean, that's a lot of faith in that Morphling for that call, though. If you don't listen to him, he definitely dies, and
Yeah.
the game becomes a lot harder.
Yeah, on his way to his BKB now. And at this point, once you have that, Shiro going to be very difficult to kill. We're going to see the Aether Lens completed now on ZZQ, so Fiend's Grip from even further away. And Planet does have his Shard, so I actually really like the Shard here for this Rubik. It gives you that telekinesis on allies, so you can actually save your heroes if they get caught out of position.
The Glimpse Static Storm, you're throwing them out of the Glimpse.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
You can pull them out of
Static
static
field.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really sick.
You just toss them over the wall.
What if you weren't stuck here? I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that one's pretty sick.
Dude, he is so farmed. Like, compared to the other supports, Planet is just on a whole nother level. And this is what I was talking about. There's so many different abilities for him to farm with on this Rubik.
Yeah.
And he's also got a Philosopher's Stone. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah. I mean, you were talking about this at the beginning, though. He's just spamming out creep waves with his Fade Bolt and Crypt Swarm. He just set up camp in the bottom lane and just farmed out everything for a little while. It always feels really good to play Rubik super greedy like that.
Lincoln's being queued up here for M77. We're seeing a lot of that out of him this game. But they still need the BKBs on the side of Phoenix to really start taking these fights. As 7E obviously going to find himself another tower here bottom. They've set up so much vision here in this triangle, and I don't know how Phoenix can actually fight into this.
I mean, the solution that they're working on right now is the Ehome Scepter on the Disruptor, like AoE Doom. But if you have the Ehome Shard on the Rubik, the AoE Doom doesn't matter. You can still toss them out of that. The mute doesn't really matter.
ZZQ, nice ward vision here. Can he get a Nightmare play? He does. Finds the Bloodseeker for the moment, but 7E on the backside. Has that BKB available, hasn't had to commit it, but the Rolling Thunder from Zeal is going to find the big kill. 7E pops his BKB, trying to run away, gets that Rupture out, but the counter Rupture is stolen from Planet. M77, a taste of his own medicine.
And not a chance. They got to feel a little bit hopeless at this point. Just completely turn that one on them as they were trying to make the last couple of plays. This game feeling very desperate, and Lina didn't even have to commit BKB there.
Not at all. I thought she would, right? Like, she's just going in against 3 heroes and just has the confidence in her team to just follow that one up, to blink in from that Rolling Thunder. Just did so much work.
Well, the only 2 things that you're concerned about is Nyx Assassin's initiation onto you, and then maybe getting caught out by the Static Storm and Kinetic Field. And the Nightmare coming out into the Nyx Assassin, I think, was the best case scenario for her. She ends up dropping the stun on her afterwards. And
Zone mid lane, trying to get aggressive on Azil. He doesn't get a disarm, though, and Zone will just find that kill. Try to get saved there by the Rubik, but not enough.
good riddance. You should never get that, 17%? Is that what it is, or 15?
There's a lot of 17% in this game, I feel like.
Yeah. And 17% there coming out of NA recently were absolutely hilarious to watch.
The RTZ triple bash is what, that's only to our tour, honestly. One of the funniest moments.
Yeah. When you're good, I suppose.
The smoke up here from Phoenix. Try to find something to play with. They do have these ultimates available. They're going to right into ZZQ as the smoke gets popped and Zone will find that quick kill. The Rupture, though, does connect onto the Templar Assassin here. They're going to drop that Exorcism as well to try and just chase down Shiro, but he just bursts down the Nyx Assassin instead. Meld here on the backside. There's going to be a Fiend's Grip as well. Able to glimpse the cancel, but Shining just taking so much damage from 7E, but Zone's dishing it out himself. He gets the kill. Question is, can they get more Zeal with the Rolling Thunder? Now blinks in, able to stun these up on the backside. Shining will fall, and now looking forward. Telekinesis, he jumps him forward. He finds the Bloodseeker. Shiro able to grab the kill, and now looking for more. 4 dead on the side of Phoenix. Zone trying to hobble away, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. Blink forward, Zeal with the body blocks, baby. Closing the gap on Shiro. Give the man a rampage. First series of the upper division, and we get ourselves a rampage for Morphling.
Absolutely incredible. Turn that one on them so quickly. I thought that they might have that fight. I mean, that Static Storm is absolutely beautiful, but I think at this point, Ehome just way too far ahead. So much damage coming out from Shiro in these team fights. And he didn't even have BKB there. That was really their last opportunity to be able to turn this around on the Morphling. There it is now. How do you deal with this guy at this point? I'm not sure you do. I mean, you're working on the Aghanim Scepter in order to counter out this BKB, but you already have a solution planet. The Aghanim Shard is going to be able to toss him out.
Well, they find themselves another kill there. Beyond godlike now for Shiro, 12, 0, and 4. A pretty similar performance to what we saw last game, I would say. This guy maybe pretty good on the Morphling.
Yeah, I imagine the rest of DPC, everyone else is going to be taking notes, banning this one out against him.
Yeah, it would seem like a 10K gold lead now, 12 to 24. Ehome really starting to hit their stride here in game number 2. And Phoenix, they've got to come up with something. Roshan, luckily, not coming up for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is nice of Phoenix. They'll have a little bit of time to get control of the map again before Roshan respawns. Lina now has a Silver Edge completed. That is going to be a lot of right-click damage.
I mean, we saw how much damage the Templar Assassin can do in these fights if she's able to get her hands on the Lina, but she had to commit the BKB. Oh, top lane Zeal just tanking it up. He's pretty difficult to kill, but there's going to be the Static Storm as well, and they will be able to eventually, well, maybe not. Zeal ends up buying enough time for the Fiend's Grip to trade there, and M77 going down. I mean, you're pretty happy with that if you're Ehome, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're happy that you end up committing the Fiend's Grip. That means fighting around the Roche Pit the next couple of seconds is going to be a little bit easier. They're going to have like a 20-second window, so it's possible they take a team fight the next little bit. 17k hero damage right now on the Morphling.
Blast rate quite good, actually, if they can get this. Oh, they're going to find the Nyx Assassin once again. The gem there on planet, paying dividends already as Shiro makes quick work of him. And 7E, he's scouting for this TA. He knows he's down here.
The confidence of this, I don't think Zone actually wants to fight 7E. Or sorry, I don't think 7E wants to fight Zone, not by himself.
He's just going to wait out the blink, though. He actually make it out. He will. Nicely done here by Zone. Well, 7E, does he continue the chase? Decides not to.
I do think that Zone wins that fight, but not if anybody's nearby on Ehome.
Yeah, he was waiting, right? 7E, like he didn't jump him right away. He was hoping his team could make the gap close, but doesn't end up happening here in the top jungle. They will find the Pangolier, but as Hero's tanky, man, is not an easy kill. Does have the roll up. We'll go ahead and drop that. Taking a little bit of damage here from the Rub, so needs to be careful. Zone pops the BKB on top of 7E. Shining can't get the vision though, and in comes Morphling. He's just doing the damage. They're trying to take down this Templar Assassin, and they do get it. Shining now trying to chase him down. Yule's buying a little bit of space to dodge out that E-Blade, but You didn't finish off that Lina, and that was what you needed to do. And YP here on the backside does get put under with this Nightmare ZZQ. Telekinesis himself. A little bit of taunting there from Planet. I love it.
Oh, that's how you stun people. That's how you stun people. You're a real Rubik player.
All right, that's some funny stuff. I love it. This guy's having a good time.
I drop the enemies, but I could drop myself. And Roshan responds just a little bit before that fight, so Shiro's going to make very quick work of this one. And 11k now with advantage. I mean, it feels so much worse than that, though.
It does. I mean, Black was right. He said about it in draft. You know, like, this Morphling, again, in the late game feels uncontested. And the Templar Assassin, she commits heavy onto 7E. And Shiro's like, yeah, that's fine with me. I'll just dish the damage right back.
Yeah, I mean, before that that team fight, you know, the net worth was...
Bottom lane, they find, the Bloodseeker once again. Yeah, that's a great scout by ZZQ there. Fiend's Grip easily secures that kill, and Bloodseeker, I mean, he had a pretty decent start to this game in this top lane, but it is all falling apart here.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully you're not the main carry. The Templar Assassin is, but it's got to be the Bloodseeker who deals with the Morphling. It's not going to be the TA. We saw that in the last team fight. TA right next to the Morphling, but she realized she's not able to trade with him.
Not at all. Look at this score, 15-0 and 5 on the Morphling. This is absurd. Buybacks all available for Rubik as well as the Disruptor. A couple heroes not too far off in terms of gold, but I don't think Ehome's going to be really saving for their buybacks on any of their cores at the moment. I mean, they are just in such a commanding position now.
Yeah.
Elven Tunic as well picked up. I mean, pretty decent. You do have the Maelstrom on the Bloodseeker, which makes it a little bit less value, but...
Yeah, and Phoenix, they realize how hard this game is at the moment. They're going for, you know, these small items that might change the team fight as the enemy's trying to break high ground right now. Aghanim Shard keyed up on the Death Prophet. If she doesn't die first.
Ooh, he's going for it. Almost managed to get in range. But I was going to say, Shiro, maybe he would want the Elven Tunic. But yeah, he's got a Paladin Sword. That's a pretty good one.
Very cool. Amplifies.
Oh, there's the Ags on the Disruptor. Okay, so this is a big timing for the side of Phoenix. I mean, they've been working for this item for quite a while, and it is a huge buff to their team fight. The question is it going to be enough? They smoke up here on Ehome, right outside the enemy base.
It depends if Ehome realized that he has this. I mean, Rubik's going to be sitting pretty far back. He's got his Aghanim Shard, so he will be there with the save. But there's a big cooldown on Telekinesis, so if he ends up committing it at the start of a team fight, it's their main catching tool.
Planet goes in, they find YP here. The Shiro gets the BKB, and he's just dead before he can do anything. The Aegis obviously still protecting this Morphling for now. That's not the hero you'd want to commit on, but they will know about the Disruptor Aghanims now.
With that scouted, I think Planet's going to be a little bit more careful. Unfortunately, you know, he is, again, the main jumping tool. He blinks forward, hits somebody with a Telekinesis, and then sets up for the rest of his team. ZZQ doesn't want to do that with like a Nightmare or a Fiend's Grip. He just ends up getting blown up. He's forced to stand his ground if he does that.
They're going to go in and go for a smoke. They did see Lina TP to the top lane, and she might be making her way back through the jungle. And Phoenix Gaming might be able to intercept that. It'd be a very big kill if they can. They do have the vision, but
This could...
ZZQ might actually spoil it. Ships in the night. He's able to dodge it for the moment. Glimpseback will find the Bane as he is stuck here. 7E into the trees, though. Might be able to find himself a little bit of a return kill. Light Strike Array off the mark, but in comes the Morphling. They do get the big Static Storm off, but the Kinetic Field's not there to hold him in place. And Morphling, he's got the Aegis. He doesn't really care. The BKB comes out from 7E, able to just try and run away, but he goes right into zone. Big Melt Strike coming through as Shining with his BKB trying to stand his ground. BKB TP out from the Templar Assassin, but you've lost 4. A costly engagement once again here from Phoenix, and they just cannot kill this Morphling.
This Death Prophet buyback isn't going to be enough either. With a minute and 34 seconds left on this Aegis, you're going to lose this Rax here in the top lane. I wouldn't be surprised if you lost the mid one as well. Fortified not going to buy you enough time either.
If they get a nice catch, and there it is, Death Prophet. It's going to be a dieback. 95 seconds, Planet with the catch there. And I mean, your Lina could buy back if they really want to commit to end this game, but they don't even need to. The Morphling pushes fast enough.
Yeah, they're fine without him. And there it is. They go for the mid lane as well. 80 seconds still without this Death Prophet. Look how quickly Shiro rips through these buildings.
Backdoor protection, actually, for the moment, but the mid lane
It ends.
gonna get exposed there thanks to these top creeps finally making it in. And Shiro now working on the second melee barracks here. Zeal on the backside with this Pangolier doing so much utility. And that is going to be 2 uncontested lanes. Ehome feeling good. You know, Shiro, he's really feeling good. He says, screw it, we're going to go for 3. He's still got the Aegis for 40-second zone. Did just pick up a Daedalus, but he's got refractions now.
Looking to take this 2-0 series, not give him a chance to come back in the game. I don't think they've got any real reason. They're not on a timer here. They've got the late game, okay.
Double
takes
wave form, yeah, he's going to back out now.
Yeah, takes the tier 3 tower, then he's out. I mean, he's made some amazing calls this game. He hasn't died at all. I mean, he ended up diving that top tier 2 tower, and that looked like an absolute suicide mission.
Made it work, though, and they're going to go ahead and TP back down here with 7E on this Lina. And yes, your Aegis is expiring, but you've got a 28,000 gold lead now, and it's feeling almost impossible for the side of Phoenix to get a control of this game.
Yep. But, you know, first game of the upper division here in the Chinese region, they don't want to give this one up. And, again, the history between these 2, I guess, teams, organizations, Ehome having the majority of Phoenix's old roster.
Ooh, gets the Yules off just for a moment to dodge out that shotgun, but my god, the damage from Shiro.
Yeah, I mean, you've got buyback right now. They smoke up on Phoenix. I guess they just don't want them having vision of where this disruptor is, because if anything turns this team fight around, it is going to be...
They pop a smoke of their own, though. Shiro's got a refresher. I mean, he feels pretty safe, and Zeal might just go with the Rolling Thunder, and that's exactly what he's going to do on the backside. Try and scout them out. Shining gets the BKB, but Shiro just laying work on these towers, but they find the Bloodseeker into the trees, and M77 pops the BKB, but it's not enough. In comes the exorcism from Shining, but they're able to get the space out. The telekinesis saves Shiro once again, and now 2 heroes dead, maybe a third. Shining will join him. With all cores on the deck, this might be all she wrote here for the side of Phoenix Gaming. As Zeal buys himself a basher from the enemy base. Why not?
Yeah, it's only a matter of time at this point. Tier 4 tower is going to melt if they don't call GG. Well, Ehome will end it for them.
Yeah. There it is. Mega Creep's going to be secured, and with the damage from the Lina as well as the Morph, it is just way too much. He's creeping CZQ. He throws it into the fountain. Oh my gosh, you love to see it. Lotus will actually save him. Planet, the guy really feeling himself here today. Love to see it.
Absolutely beautiful. First series, a quick 2-0 for the side of Ehome, and Shiro looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Ehome and as a whole, right? The entire team looked so good in this series, and honestly, like, it's just an incredible performance, not only from Shiro, but I mean, Planet in game 1 on the Shaker, game 2 on the Rubik, just making so much space, just incredibly farmed all around. And Pango managing to bounce back from a really rough lane stage.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing against a Bloodseeker. That one is pretty difficult. You know, the moment he gets level 6, it becomes even harder. But yeah, bouncing back into that one pretty quickly was impressive. And they did lose Lina a couple times. They realized that they needed to run at her. She was the easiest target, but it means Shiro got to do whatever he wanted that game. And they talked about that one. They liked their draft a little bit better, but this time, again, no real solution to the Morphling.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the Lina able to dominate that mid lane, 7E. I mean, even though you do get picked off, he still managed to keep himself on the top of the net worth chart. And there's a couple fights where like the Phantom, the Templar Assassin's able to like find the Lina and put a lot of damage or find kills, but it puts her in a compromising position for Shiro just to come through and clean up big. He gets the Rampage in the mid game. I mean, it was just so sick. I loved it. I mean, Ehome seemed to really be a like a really well-rounded team. So. Yep. But with that, we are going to go ahead and send it back to the panel for them to break down our first series here. So go ahead and take it away, guys.
100 audio.
Well, that was a convincing 2-0, unfortunately, from Ehome, as Phoenix, unfortunately, couldn't quite pull it out of the bag for their first series of the tournament. Not unexpected, but, you know, guys, what do we think about game number 2? Better from Phoenix?
At times, I think it looked as good as it feels like it's going to get. But I think really the big takeaway is just how well Ehome played and their drafting. It felt like very one-sided.
Yeah, it's a little bit worrying that they didn't address the Morphling really again in game 2. They picked one Disruptor, but it's pretty much like again, your last pick TA is actually not good. Like you pick it against Alina, which is a bad matchup to begin with, and then in the mid late game you have this Morphling who doesn't care about your presence at all. In fact, he just destroys you. And that's pretty much what happened. Morphling completely out of control. They had one stun for him and a Static Storm, but with that Aegis, he doesn't care. Like, he made a mistake, morphed down when he got Static Storm, sure. Aegis pops, turns the fight around, gets like a rampage. Like, I don't know, as soon as that mid-fight happened, where Morphin got like a double kill of it, like the game just felt all Ehome. Like, there was no way back for Phoenix, it felt like.
Yeah. It felt like a great Morphling game. He obviously gets the first rampage of the season. Always a good feeling. But it just, even throughout the entirety of the Static Storm, like they weren't even killing him, really.
Yeah.
He would just get hit by the Static Storm, survive it all, and everything was fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was the biggest problem. Like, they picked this big counter to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really care about that.
I'll just survive."
It was a tough one, but I think Planet has had an excellent series. I think our Cryptic was talking about that, how good of a game he had both on the Rubik and the Earthshaker, right? Like, obviously they have this inexperienced off-laner just out of school and still warming up and things a little bit, and that's when you want your experienced Division 4 player to kind of step up, take the lead, make the plays. And certainly in the Earthshaker game, and again, on this Rubik game, definitely doing that and playing from the front lines and, being a bit of a puncher, a bit of a boxer. That's what I like to see. It was very nice.
Yeah. Planet gave me some FY vibes.
Ooh.
In that series.
Ooh.
I thought his Rubik was good. I thought his
Tease me,
Earthshaker was really good. That's high praise, but I thought this was a really good series for him. Something to definitely come out of the gates on. Like, yeah, you're playing Phoenix. I think that maybe from the outside looking in, this is a series that Ehome should win. But, the players who are in the lobby, there's a lot of pressure. It's the DPC Tier 1, like Division 1. This is for a major. Every win's big, and, you still come out guns blazing. You look really good.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good series for him to start on for sure. A nice confidence builder to leading up into some big games. Black, closing thoughts on this one, and what were your thoughts as well on Phoenix and where they decide to let do you think the Bloodseeker carry would have been better than this, or do you feel like that wasn't really the issue?
I really think the biggest problem was that just the last pick in the mid lane didn't make any sense once more. Just for both games, I feel the draft has been pretty decent until that very last pick. And then the last pick completely ruined it for me. And that's definitely something I have to work out. If they do that, like, unfortunately, I have a hard time really gauging how good Phoenix is after these two games. Because really, after they commit one mistake in either game, they just really couldn't play the game anymore because the draft didn't allow them to.
Yeah.
But like, if they keep drafting like this, obviously there is not going to be a very big chance that they will be able to cause any damage to the bigger teams. But it is also one of the issues that is most easily fixed. Like, getting a better last pick should not be an obstacle, right?
Yes.
And once they have that, I do think they could potentially cause some trouble for some bigger teams. Like, the individual skill we saw is there, but
The TA felt very comfort pick.
Yeah.
Like, a team that used to do that is IGV. They get like 4 heroes in a draft, and then like Butterfly Effect would get TA, and it's just like, well, you have this 4-man draft that looks good to start, and then you're picking a TA because it's comfort, and it doesn't really mesh with everything else, and it really just threw a wrench in everything, and it didn't look good for them.
If you want to pick like that, though, like, you gotta pick that super early. Like, if he's like super comfortable in TA, just like first 2 first 3, you build a lineup around it. But if you build a draft around a DP, and you pick up TA middle again, it's like, why? Like, just in game 1, I feel like DP middle actually would have been very strong this game. Like, you get up to a good start, high levels, you can start pressuring towers, you get big, you can actually just walk into the team fight. There's not a whole lot they can do to you. But maybe he's just not comfortable on DP at all. But then you shouldn't pick it first 2 like that, in both games. Because it is not the greatest offlane hero, I gotta admit. Like, it's okay, but it doesn't pressure the morph. He had free farm.
Yeah, then you got to wonder why. And also, this was the first phase morph 2 games in a row, and both games, like, Sherrod just absolutely kicked off, had such a free time. That has to be concerning for Phoenix to be like, oh, we just got beaten by the same thing twice in a row. We had a chance to work on it, and we had a chance to answer the problems we had. And I kind of feel like they swung in the opposite direction. Like, the first game, they did have stuns, but, kind of didn't really have the damage and such. And then game number 2, they just didn't have any stuns at all. And, both games should end up being a bit of a free one for the Morphling, unfortunately.
Yeah. The draft felt like they were drafting for them and not against Ehome. Like, Ehome had their plan.
we picked Morphling, and then you saw the bans. It was everything to protect the Morphling, and then it didn't really feel like Phoenix were reacting to that as much as they really could have.
Yeah, I'm actually really wondering if that morph pick was just because of the DP, because it lanes really well into the DP, or what. But yeah, it worked out perfectly for them twice, and they just they have Morphling again. Let's not answer it twice. Like, okay.
Well, the disrupt was meant to be the answer, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really
but like
did it.
supports answering a call is always a very big gamble. It's the same as I'm just gonna hard counter this free PL game with an Earthshaker +4. It can work if it goes perfectly, but if you mess up one echo, if anyone gets on top of you, suddenly the game plan just falls apart, and we can't answer him anymore because one of our least farmed heroes just died. You know, it's a very big gamble, and it definitely didn't pay off in this game.
Right, so what advice would you have to Phoenix? If you could talk to them right now, you're in the changing rooms after the game, everyone's all sweaty after the big match. What's Coach Black coming in? You're kicking down the door. What's he saying?
Step aside, let me handle the mouse when we draft. Because really, I think it's all drafting. I already do think
Pumped up.
most.
I was really worried.
I'm ready.
But you were just like,
No.
the mouse. I was like, oh no.
No.
Just
We don't go
drafting.
there. That happens if they lose like that again. Then I'm like,
Okay.
now I'm taking the mouse for real, bro.
You have to play without the mouse, and then once you learn to play without the mouse, you can have it back, and then you'd be twice the better player.
You just go and you rip it away. No, you don't deserve it. Show me you can do better than that.
Yeah.
And that speech, it's the speech from Black and then the 1980 U.S. Miracle Team on ice. I only tell you, that got me
You're gonna
hyped.
make them play with a controller. Then when they have the keyboard and mouse back, they'll be gods because they'll be used to owning with a controller.
Dude, actually, a controller sounds fun.
Yeah, Dance
Not
Dance
great.
Revolution controller.
Not great, but fun.
I was wondering where you're going. Have you tried it yet?
I have not. Like, how do you aim? Like, probably analog stick?
Yeah. So you get like a little dot on your hero, and then when you press the analog stick, you kind of points in the direction. It always sends it back to
That's
the
so
hero.
terrible.
Play Meepo like that. If you get a win, I'll sub.
Oh, Shiro MVP, by the way.
Absolutely. What's his gold to
Unsurprisingly.
damage ratio? Whoa, 2.41 gold to damage ratio. I think that's very high. We've only seen this stat twice, but
What was the other one?
What's the other one?
1.42, I think.
Well, that's
lot
very,
more damage
2.4 is
ratio.
high.
But Razor doesn't, I guess Razor doesn't farm as much as Morphling does. But
Dude, honestly, I
Still
would
has a
love
lot
to
of
see the
damage.
contrast between like the other carry. Because it's probably like 0.9 or something.
yeah, that would be a bit. I don't think that'd be great. But again, he didn't have much gold either, so.
Yeah,
maybe-
exactly.
maybe
So it's
okay.
always like, it's actually a very neat stat. I
Wow.
don't think I've seen that one before.
20 and 0
The Death
on
Bolt
that
loss was pretty
Morphling.
interesting.
20 and 0.
Slapping.
Yeah. I mean, this is what happens when your best answer is both supports. It's a big problem. Like, TA blinked in front of the Morphling, and Morphling was like, what the hell did you just do?
Thanks
And
for
then
making
TA
it
tried to
easier.
run away, got Scottied up. He's like, ah!
Good cocks a shotgun. Like,
Let me go. It was a mistake, an honest mistake. Sorry, sir.
that's the thing, right? Like the moment he gets that the shotgun is the support killer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna kill me, or I'm gonna kill you, and guess what? If I make a mistake, it's fine. I've got like a million things to get me out of it. I've got a BKB, I've got strength morph. If you make a mistake, sorry.
There
just
there
gonna
was
be a-
like this one moment where it felt like the disruptor, and he glimpsed him back while he got killed. When he's like, guys, I got them all. Oh. You got me. Dang it.
And then there was a time where he got glimpsed by the Rubik, and his just dead disruptor just came back to the point. I was just like, all right, well.
Imagine he
I
bought
tried.
back and it comes from a fountain. That's so funny.
What do you do though? Like when you're glimpsed and you're just moving in front of a shotgun morphling, like is that the point where you just you just stand up, you just leave?
Yeah.
Like
Well, do I
did my
thunder
job.
strike him or not?
Guys,
Will I
it's
be able
taking
to
literally
get it
no
off?
damage. I'm doing it.
That's funny.
Well, Ehome, as we mentioned, they did look good. It's a gentle series to start them off, though. And the next match is going to be against IG. What do you guys think? Is this going to be a closer one than maybe you might think, considering Ehome's playing with a kind of new squad?
Keep in mind they just lost to Neon 3-1.
That was that RNG or IG? I think.
RNG lost to
IG.
Neon in the finals.
Yeah, IG lost to Neon.
Although
in the
I
upper
believe,
bracket
yeah.
Oh,
finals.
they didn't get. It was RNG that. Oh
IG
yeah.
and then lost in the
So they
grand finals
beat.
3-1.
They lost to Neon 2-1, right?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
bracket
Okay.
finals. This is of the Huya
They just
Invitational,
lost
by
to
the way,
Neon 2-1 in the upper
not
bracket final.
DPC.
That is true, but,
But.
it's not DPC. I always wonder how much, you're putting into those. is it going to be 100% every single time? Like, if you played outside events, you were part of, like, DPL and everything like that, right? When you were on Vici?
Yeah.
So, like, was that always just 100% all the time?
Never.
Never?
Yeah, it was just really the big events where you try, but still, like, you still want to win while experimenting. Like, losing never feels good, right? Especially if you lose upper bracket and then lower bracket straight away. And I just wonder how much the change of Fade and Kaka, will impact them, because as you said, and as they said also, like, he was their shot caller.
Yeah.
And Fade, I don't think, has filled a similar position in his past teams. Because I don't think he's a shot caller.
Yeah, I don't think he was doing it when he was playing for Ehome. I don't think that
He did not. He did not.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the shot caller on this one, and like what they're going to try and get done with Fade and everything like that. Like,
Is
I
that
don't
a
know.
hard position to move into? Like,
Very hard.
yeah.
Because like he's basically taken the captain's role, right, without ever having done it. This
Is
makes
it
me
just
wonder when
straight
are they
going
gonna.
captain? You think?
They have to, right?
Well,
What else could they do? Because like it's not another person. Oh yeah. So here's the thing, right? When you remove the captain for someone who's not a captain, anybody would have to do the same amount of work, right? Whether it's another player already on the team that has to become a captain, or the new guy has to become a captain, the same amount of work. So either way, it's gonna be a tough cookie to chew.
I'd say it's probably going to be like Emo making the shot calls. If anything.
Potentially, but playing from the mid lane is so difficult, and doing that. I think it's about time we get to see his go treatment, where we just like, get the coach in on him, get him mic'd up.
Swap
I
in
actually
the
wonder
back
how
of
that would
chairs.
impact
Kind of
Dota.
did, but kind of didn't as well. It was,
Yeah, but I really
talk
wonder
about
how that
that.
would like impact Dota as a whole if every team had that.
Well, I would be okay with it being like not in comms, but like there maybe. I don't know.
What do you mean not on comms? But
I don't know.
What, he's just standing
It's like,
behind them,
yeah,
can't
you
talk
just-
to them?
yeah.
You have to go behind your players, and you have to behind you.
No.
You're getting ganged.
I'm pretty sure
They all
in
learn
the
sign
CS:GO, They're
language.
just like sitting behind, like on camera. You just sit back and just watch.
No, that sounds terrible. I actually mean like
They're watching
communication.
anyway. Do you think they're not watching people?
Yeah.
They just walk out and go get a coffee or something?
Slap
I'm
back
gonna.
some chairs, hype him up a little bit.
Right, guys. Yeah, he comes back into the room. Right, guys. I'm gonna tell you guys what you did wrong, but first, tell me what happened because I wasn't really watching. Don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
My words are being taken too literally. I
Oh,
don't
mid lane
understand.
fed first blood for
Come on,
no
guys.
reason. And it like starts like an internal civil war. First blood from the mid lane. Yeah, he just died to him solo. I don't even know what happened. Like,
This was his idea anyway. I wasn't, the one advocating for it. I was just trying to,
I'm really
Right.
curious though how it would impact Dota, because I do think a lot of teams just lack this actual shot caller, and with him they would be like so much better. Like even tier 2 teams, they could like potentially become a tier 1 and tier 1.5.
Well, we saw a
team.
tier 2 team become a tier 1 team when it happened last time. I'm just kidding. I'm just. Just don't show my face.
Oh, dear.
I'm getting off Twitter. I'm
I
out
hope
of
Loda
here.
wasn't watching.
Well, it's gonna be at Loda Berg.
It's really hot in here.
You started off so well in the battle, dude. Like, the droughts, and then you just jump in the deep end, man. I respect it. I respect it a lot.
It's
You know, the pause in
refreshing.
this guy.
It's something new.
I like it.
Alrighty, guys. We're going to throw it over to a short break, and then we will be back with more DPC action here at the Perfect World China DPC. We'll see you very soon.